Dyan.
Kapag pa nga. Di ba yung next week?
Ma'am.
Sila. Sana sila. Pag ikaw na kasama, bigyan mo ako. Sila Ate Jen.
Hoy, on na ako. Tawag na. Ano ko na? Ako na. Thank you.
Diyan po ako.
Ay, sorry.
Hindi pala sa
Finals na. Midterms. Pero yan, wala na. Wala na kasi sa kasali. Wala na sa pinadero kayo.
Okay, ano?
Wala kang tubig. May tubig. Sino pa ba dyan? Hindi, meron sila eh.
Sarili ba natin
Basta yan.
mag-use ng ECC at ECC? CRA order. Ano sir? Sarabi. Sorry.
dear resource persons, ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. It has been 2 years of hearings, starting from when my team went to Thailand to help rescue 12 Filipinos trafficked to a scam compound in Myanmar. Nakakulong na si Guo Hua Ping. May executive order na din ang Pangulo tungkol sa POGO ban. Sa inaasahan ko pong huling hearing ng komite na ito, I want to zoom out and I want to take a broader and more bird's-eye perspective of the destructive, toxic, and criminal phenomenon that is POGO. Guo Hua Ping is only one manifestation of this phenomenon. And at this point, I leave her in the hands of our justice system. Pero mahalagang sinupin at siyasatin ang POGO para di na makaulit ang mga masasamang loob. With the indulgence of my colleagues, I wish to present the findings of my team on the question of the use of POGOs for espionage activities. Noong nakaraang hearing, pinakita ko ang interview ng aking opisina sa isang Wang Fugu. Referring to the previous documentary of Al Jazeera, pinalaliman niya ang pagkakilala natin sa isang CEZA. Itong si CEZA ang nagsabi na kasama niyang foreign intelligence agent, si Guo Hua Ping. My team conducted a deep dive research on CEZA. His first known record in the Philippines was on December 10, 2011.
Baka walang baterya, sir.
We have learned that CEZA was initially the subject of a 2014 court order for running an illegal casino. According to the court judgment, quote, the People's Protectorate of the Economic and Technological Development Zone of Yantai City presented the charges as follows. CEZA, at large, established private lottery platforms in the Philippines under the names New Asia, Wanda, D1, and Tang Club without government approval. Close quote. Sa makatuwid po, ang dahilan po ng 2014 niya na kaso ay ang mga activities sa Pilipinas simula 2011. Noon pong July 2015, it was reported in the media that there was a raid on Chonghua General Enterprises Corporation, isang korporasyon na pagmamayari ni CEZA na naging mitsa ng deportation ng 154 na tao. Mga kaibigan, according to my informants, if you have a warrant in China, it is very hard to move around. You cannot get a new passport. You cannot go to China unless mayroong nag-ayos sa'yo na matataas na tao. At di umano, ang dahilan kung bakit ito naaayos ay dahil nga kinukuha sila bilang intelligence asset. Ayon nga po kay CEZA, siya po ay na-recruit bilang intelligence asset to work for the Chinese Communist Party. Hindi malayong isipin na totoo ang sinasabi ni Xi na na-recruit siya sa Pilipinas ng isang Ma Dongli noong last quarter ng 2016. We were able to confirm from Ma Dongli's travel records that he was indeed here 4 times during the last quarter of 2016. Sakto po, October 2016, nabigyan ng bagong passport naman si Xi. It was also around this time that Xi Jinping changed his visa to a CEZA visa. A few months later, or in mid-2017, nabuo na ang plano para sa Yatay New City Project o ang Shwe Koko, kung saan naligtas ng opisina ko si Alias Rita noong namang 2022. Magkasama po si Ma Dongli at itong si CEZA sa project na ito. Very interestingly, it is documented a documented fact that state-owned enterprises affiliated with the Communist Party of China were part of Yatay from the start. In short, Shi Zhejiang worked intimately with Beijing after 2016. It was not just in Yatay. Mr. Shi was also part of Cambodia's Dara Sakor Economic Zone, together with the Union Development Corporation, a state-backed Chinese firm. Noong 2017, despite the 2014 case involving activities here in the Philippines and completely oblivious to his espionage activities here, Mr. Shi was given a 9G visa by the Bureau of Immigration. Mga kaibigan, namayagpag po sa Pilipinas at sa Cambodia itong si Mr. Shi. Naging 5 na po ang kanyang pangalan. Ang 4 pa ay Shi Lungkay, Tang Lungkay, Tang Krangkay, at Dilan Shi. But he continued activities together with the Chinese Communist Party. I want to point out that Shi's documented links in the Philippines are via CEZA. At mamaya ay tatanungin ko ang CEZA tungkol dyan. My team has sought to speak to Shi Zhejiang in prison, together with our police attaché in Bangkok, Colonel Dominador Matalang. Shout out po kay Colonel Matalang for his able assistance to my team from the rescue in 2022 until today. While we have been prevented from accessing Shi Zhejiang, sa aming pananaliksik at pagtatanong, nabigyan po kami ng ilang mga impormasyon na magpapatunay na hindi ordinaryo ang access ng taong ito. These files, from my understanding, are available only to police officers or those granted special access to classified government information. Shi Zhejiang has access to the files of Guo Hua Ping and the members of her family, dahil according to him, Guo Hua Ping is an intelligence agent. He has released some of these files for the Senate hearing. Nagimbal din ako sa impormasyon which confirms some of my earlier theories that scam cities are used to sow disinformation campaigns to influence hearts and minds. Mukhang hindi lang sugal, scamming at trafficking ang pakay ng mga compound na ito, kundi fake news din. Di ako magtataka kung yung mga atake sa akin at sa mga kasamahan ko, gaya ni Senator Sherwin, ay galing din sa mga POGO. I will share some of this information later as I question the agencies. Mga kasama, make no mistake about it. Sa 2 taon na hearing, 4 na taon kung kasama ang 18th Congress hearings tungkol sa social costs ng POGO na nagbunsod ng expose sa Pastilla scam, one thing is clear, POGO is a monster. Siya ay halimaw na gumagawa ng human trafficking, money laundering, torture, at espionage. Pero, sino ang bumusog sa halimaw na ito? Mga kaibigan, this photo was given to us by one of our key informants, and it further deepens what we already know. Michael Yang is a key actor in Chinese intelligence operations here. Michael Yang nasangkot sa Pharmally, and if the reports are accurate, sa drug operations dito. Michael Yang, na economic advisor ng dating Pangulo. Ginatasan na tayo, pinagtaksilan pa. Friends, I want to show you how Chinese communist propaganda is conducted right under our noses. Specifically, in a spa beside Newport City, here in Pasay. Itong Yatay Spa was once associated with Shi Zhejiang, but we have no knowledge if he still has controlling interest. Nagpamasahe po doon ang aking informants a few weeks ago. And they took a photo of this QR code that was freely available in the buffet area. Ito po ang sumambulat nung kinlik namin ang QR code. A Telegram group called Hongsheng, sounds familiar ba? To support overseas bosses. I don't know if this is the Hongsheng of Guo Hua Ping in Bamban, but hardly anything surprises me anymore at this point. It also has a video containing a mishmash of anti-US statements and a call to serve the motherland. Here is the video.
要想把中国出名是吧？这是痴心妄想，怎么可能呢？他有点不自量力，不思悔改，信口雌黄，自作多情，痴心妄想，厚颜无耻，罔顾事实，颠倒黑白，不自量力而大言不惭，竹篮打水一场空。美国号称自己是全世界自由的灯塔，但这灯塔似乎不怎么样。无论走到哪里，祖国在你身后。
宏盛与您合作。
Groovy pa ng music, no? At hindi po ito tago, hindi po ito secret, na access ng informants kung nagpamasahe at nagbuffet pagkatapos. Salamat po. As my colleagues arrive, I will ask them if they have opening statements. So for now, I call on the committee secretary to call on the resource persons and administer the oath to those who haven't taken it yet.
Good morning, everyone. For the record, the committee would like to acknowledge the presence of the following resource persons. From the Philippine National Police, we have Police Colonel Lucrecio Rodrigueza Jr., Police Brigadier General Matthew Bakay,
Wala rin po.
from the PNPCIDG, Police Colonel David Poklay, Police Brigadier General Romeo Macapas. From the Department of Foreign Affairs, we have Undersecretary Jesus Gary Domingo, Officer in Charge Paulo Saret, Deputy Assistant Secretary Rafael Hermoso, Deputy Assistant Secretary Maria Cynthia Pelayo, Deputy Assistant Secretary Arman Talbo, Director Lailani Chan, Director Von Ryan Pangwi, Miss Aaron Patrice Isabel Frias. From the Department of Labor and Employment, we have Mr. Patriwi Yaran Jr. From the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, we have Director Winnie Gedato. Okay. From the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, we have Maria Reina Carrion. From the Cagayan Economic Zone Authority, we have a representative, Attorney Marichel de Guzman, Miss Noveline Achansar. From the Bureau of Internal Revenue, we have Attorney Scraton Orculio. From the Bureau of Immigration, we have Commissioner Joel Anthony Biado. We also have Mr. Arsanib de Capong. From the National Bureau of Investigation, we have Attorney Olga Agustia Gonzalez. From the Securities and Exchange Commission, we have Attorney Jonathan Pancratios Pagirigan, Attorney Hale Oliver Labayo, Attorney Pamela Lorraine Ramos. From the National Intelligence and Coordinating Agency, we have Deputy Director General Francisco Asli Asedillo. From the National Security Council, we have Attorney Sheena Marie Lopez. From the Philippine Statistic Authority, we have Engineer Marisa Grande, Attorney Ansari Kosain. Okay, there. Attorney Joyce Buyongan. Okay. From the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, we have Attorney Clen Bonete. From the Philippine Coast Guard, we have Commodore Eugenio Federico, Commander Orly Wong, Commander Rene Leandro Narvasa, Lieutenant Conrado Ramos, Lieutenant Mar Turita, okay. Lieutenant Gerson Gamas. We have Lieutenant Commander Hazel Goldame Castillo. Okay. Then from the Philippine Navy, Lieutenant Colonel Carlos Llaneguis. We have Mayor Crisildo Calugay. We have Miss Cheryl Medina. We have Miss Geraldine Pipito from QJJ Farm, Catherine Salazar from QJJ Farm. Then we have the former Mayor of Bamban, Mr. Jose Antonio Feliciano. Then we have Shang Mir, also known as Sheila Guo. We have Yang Jian Singh, also known as Tony Yang. Then we have our interpreter, Caroline Batay. Then we have Jose Gabriel Lavinia. Okay. That's all, Madam Chair.
Before you administer the oath, COMSEC, may taga-AMLAC din po ba? Or did I not catch the name? Thank you, Attorney. Thank you, COMSEC.
Okay, from the AMLAC, Mr. Ross Jonathan Galicia. Okay, Adrian.
Please proceed, COMSEC.
Adrian Arpon. Okay.
Thank you.
May I request those who have not taken their oath during last hearings to please stand up, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, please state your name, do solemnly swear that I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to this committee. Thank you. You may now take your seat.
Salamat, COMSEC, at sa lahat ng mga resource persons. So I'd like to ask first Deputy Director General Asidilio for the NICA. A report written in Chinese claims that NICA has made a report on Chinese influence operations in CEZA. Can you speak to this, Deputy Director General? First of all, are there government officials employed? At kung mayroon, sino-sino po sila?
Madam Chairman, members of the committee and others present, good morning. Madam Chair, I will speak to the fact that indeed NICA has been conducting continuous monitoring across our 17 regional offices, Madam Chair, not just in the region where Cagayan Valley belongs to. As a matter of fact, Madam Chair, we are willing in an executive session to brief the chairperson and the members of the committee as to the extent of such Chinese, and we will call them under the nomenclature MIFI, Madam Chair, malign influence and foreign interference activities. The request is made because, first of all, we'd like to acknowledge that the extent is pervasive. And as of the initial briefings that we've had from our regions, mukhang wala pong region exempted. As to whether or not there are government officials or employees that are involved in such, we cannot make a determination until the respective regions are able to submit their conclusive reports. So I will indeed confirm as to the information received by the good chairperson, ma'am.
Thank you, Deputy Director General. And the Chair welcomes the offer to conduct an executive session together with the members of my committee who are interested on these malign influence and foreign intervention activities. I note that the Deputy Director General said that these activities are extensive in scope, and syempre nakakabahala na walang rehiyon sa ating bansa ay exempted. And I also noticed that at the top of this page of the part of the report that we showed, there's mention of She Lungkai, which is one of the names used by Shi Zhejiang here in the Philippines. So it seems that he is probably involved in this somehow, and I will wait for the executive session to hear the details about that. There's also, in what we've shown already, a reference to who is referred to in the report, or an excerpt which is in the report, to Lebino, but is linked to an article which I will also show later, no, from Ramon Tulfo about CEZA Administrator Raul Lambino, which I will ask the CEZA resource persons about in a bit. Just a few more questions, Deputy Director General. At sabihan nyo na lang ako kung yung iba dito ay kaugnay din ng i-cover natin sa executive session. There was even an attempt to gain control of Fuga Island and developing it into a smart city. Intelligence agents flagged this as a national security concern, and the plan was aborted. Can you confirm that the aborted plan to turn Fuga into a smart city was a Beijing-led initiative for its security and territorial interests?
Madam Chair, as to the earlier question, whether there was an attempt, we would like to confirm, although that predates my stint in the NICA, there was indeed an effort on the part of our national security sector to block. It was elevated as a national security issue, prompting even statements from our previous national security advisor and our Secretary of National Defense, because there was already a public clamor to address such, and it was addressed at the highest level under the previous administration, Madam Chair. As to whether it was a Beijing-led operation, maybe at a proper time during the hearing to speak to the other efforts on the part of the Chinese government. We cannot conclusively say, however, there has been a confluence, Madam Chair, and this has been widely reported, not just in our government, but also by other foreign governments. There has been a confluence in the expansion of Chinese economic investment activities with the expansion of the nexus of espionage and criminal activities, which under our emerging consensus, Madam Chair, there is really such an effort to converge, because it ties up conveniently with the the national security law that was passed by China in 2017, directing all their citizens and all entities that are in China to cooperate without fail with the Chinese government.
Thank you. And I think they have a partner law to that, on if it's called espionage, but one that also obliges even state-owned enterprises, or even non-state-owned enterprises, but Chinese economic enterprises operating in other countries, to provide information to their government when asked.
Madam Chair, we are referring to the same legislation.
Right. Thank you. And again, about this line of questioning, I'll get to CEZA in a minute. Deputy Director General, international news reports in the past few days spoke of a telecom hack believed to be Chinese-sponsored, called by the United States as, quote, the worst telecom hack in our nation's history. According to my source, there are threat actors operating these cyber espionage operations. Two of these threat actors are APT-40 and APT-41. I've received some information, of course, needing to be verified, that APT-40 and APT-41 sought to use the facilities in Myanmar of Zhejiang for their operations. Some of the files of these bad actors have been released for the Senate hearing. Ito po yun. What I am concerned about here is information that the Philippines is a victim country of these espionage activities. Is there a study already on the origin of these hacks, and can we possibly trace them to gambling cities or even POGO hubs?
Madam Chair, with the information that we have, we can confirm that indeed Chinese advanced persistent threat groups are operating or targeting the Philippines, whether government or private sector entities. We have monitored some of them, Madam Chair, and again in an executive session, if required, we can share some information. Secondly, Madam Chair, indeed your information is accurate. In fact, the U.S. intelligence agencies have briefed both the Democrat and the Republican campaigns as to targeted attacks using at least one American telecommunications company. It's been named publicly, but of course I will not name it here. I don't believe it is my place. But yes, there has been such an effort in the lead up to the November 2024 elections in the United States.
Thank you. And again, we will wait for the executive session. Kahit ito na yung huling public hearing ng investigasyong ito, but at least preparatory to the committee report, my colleagues and I will appreciate that executive session. Noting also that these threat groups are described as advanced and persistent. So, tawag pansin yun, tawag concern din, and also the possible relationship to what is being done in other countries as well. Yes, sir.
Madam Chair, for the benefit of the committee and the listening public, may I address the issue on the APT? Yes, Madam Chair, an APT is a cybersecurity nomenclature that is, among practitioners, a polite way of describing state-backed or state-affiliated, advanced and highly sophisticated hacking groups. They may be cyber criminal groups as well, but why are they called advanced persistent threats? They are differentiated from the normal individual hackers or the disorganized or non-sophisticated hackers because of their resources, the personnel that they have, and the sophisticated skills that they possess. So much so that they are believed to be largely state-trained or state-sponsored or state-backed. Again, they provide a convenient cutout for certain countries, which we call revisionist countries, that seek to upend the international global order. They seek to achieve certain asymmetric advantages without using state resources and providing a convenient, deniable link to such groups. However, being able to obtain the benefit of such advanced cybersecurity capabilities against countries that are identified as adverse or adversarial to countries that avail of the services of these advanced persistent threat groups, Madam Chair.
So yun pala yung APT, Advanced Persistent Threat. So those groups 40 and 41 ang pinakita namin dito sa slides kanina. And yung sinabi nyo about upending the international order, naalala ko tuloy yung nabuksang video dun sa QR code dyan sa Yatay Spa ba yun? Oo. Yatay Spa sa Newport City. Okay. At paano naman po yung mga troll farms deliberately sowing disinformation? May lumabas na balita that there was a coordinated social media campaign supporting the Vice President from accounts affiliated with China. Ito po yun. So have there been preliminary investigations on this?
Madam Chair, what makes this investigation difficult is that if the influence campaigns are done through legitimate social media platforms, we will have to course it through the owners and operators of the social media platforms, all of which are actually foreign-based. Kaya po kahit may nagrereklamo po tayong mga kababayan na mga nabiktima po ng scam, they will have to be, even if they approach our government agencies, they will have to be coursed through this foreign social media platforms. What makes them difficult po is many of them are not operating country offices. They're merely operating sales and marketing outlets here in our country, as opposed to other firms that have an end-to-end operation po dito sa bansa po natin. Secondly, Madam Chair, we cannot discount the possibility that these POGO hubs are also operating as dual-use entities.
Parang SIM card, ah.
Yes, Madam Chair, because if you look at it, kung pwede ka pong mang-scam, diretso po dun sa mga individual subscribers, pwede ka rin pong mag-push ng misinformation and other information via SMS. So, one way this is used po, no, kahit sabihin po natin, and this has been a problem before po. I used to work for a telco. Ang una po naming tinitingnan nun were what we call the aggregators. Meron po kasing ginagamit po yung lahat ng telco ng mga service po kung saan doon po nila pinapasa yung gusto po nilang i-text blast at yung po mga aggregators na po ang magte-text blast. Then we later found out po na binabypass na po yan ng mga scammers. Kasi po, yun nga, kasi nakita na po na yung aggregators po among themselves, they were policing the ranks already. Eventually po, nakita po natin na dinidiretso na po ng mga scam sites po na ito, yung pong tinatawag, meron po tayong tinatawag na IMSI catcher. These are what we call man-in-the-middle attacks. May mga nagpapanggap po na kunyari, mga cell site. But these are operated by hackers po. Dahil po nagpapanggap sila na mga cell sites, ang akala po ng mga cellphone natin, these are legitimate cell sites po. But in fact, they are operated by scammers. At yan po ang ginagawa po ng mga MC catchers, kinokolekta po yung impormasyon sa atin po mga cellphones. At pag nakuha na po yan naman po ang gagamitin ng impormasyon para ikaw naman po yung biktimahin. Ang akala nyo po, galing po sa mga legitimate telcos yung SMS, pero galing po pala sa mga scammers, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Deputy Director General. Paano yung spelling ng MC catcher? MC catcher?
IMSI po.
IMSI. Okay, oh, tama. Okay. Man in the middle. All right. Habang sinasagot niyo yung mga tanong ko, naisip ko, ang daming impormasyon dito na of interest, kahit sa yung komite namin dito sa Senado having to do with ICT, and pati electoral reforms, no? Speaking about the man in the middle. And in fact, yung tinatalakay nyo ngayon lamang, Deputy Director General, is one of the findings of a paper of Rear Admiral Romel Ong for the Ateneo Policy Center about POGOs also being used as for troll farms. And if I may, after my questions to the good Deputy Director General, I'd like to ask a few questions also of the good Admiral. But one last question muna sa atin, Deputy Director General. Nung nakaraang hearing po, NICA committed to look into reports on Guo Hua Ping's involvement in the intelligence activities of a foreign government. Are you able to speak to this now? Can you confirm that Guo Hua Ping is an agent of influence?
Madam Chair, in addressing that question, there was a supervening event wherein what was being thrown around in the public sphere and in the media was that, well, whether or not Guo Hua Ping was a spy. And in our coordinations with the committee, we acknowledge that the term has been loosely used. And however, since this is a hearing in aid of legislation, and given the fact that there are current efforts to amend our espionage law, as well as to pass a law to counter foreign influence and foreign interference, we would like to be as specific and as accurate as we would like to be. We would like to distinguish between a foreign intelligence agent and an agent of influence, because they are different. As to the question whether or not Guo Hua Ping is a spy, or to be more accurate, a foreign intelligence agent, it requires a determination of fact, meaning that the intelligence agency to which that trained her, employed her, and supervised her or controlled her, either confirms or an officer of that agency confirms the existence or the fact rather of Ms. Guo Hua Ping being their agent. We have not come to that determination yet, Madam Chair, which brings us to the fact, to the question: is she an agent of influence? We do not have currently any legislation or any convention in our country that defines what an agent of influence is. However, within an historical context, Madam Chair, given that these activities have been common, especially during the Cold War, the activities and the facts that have come to light so far in this committee and in other committees, especially in the House, point to the fact that she is, and even in discussions within the intelligence community, there is consensus that indeed she is an agent of influence. What does that mean? If I may just read, Madam Chair.
Please proceed.
There are several ways to define an agent of influence. What is applicable on the part of Ms. Guo Hua Ping is that she uses her influence, her stature, or her position to influence public opinion or decision-making to produce results beneficial to the country whose services they benefit from. So to that effect, Madam Chair, that is applicable to her, and therefore she may be classified as such. Although we would like to acknowledge that there is no law currently that defines it as such. However, Intelligence and Counterintelligence Convention, which falls under our purview, recognizes that convention, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Deputy Director General. Siguro yung sinabi nyo rin na wala pa tayong batas o wala pa tayong pagratipika ng anumang convention kaugnay nito, would also be, I think, a valuable possible recommendation in our committee report para sa patuloy na pagtrabaho namin dito sa Senado. So, salamat po para dyan. If I may turn quickly to Rear Admiral Ong, and salamat po sa presensya nyo ngayong umaga. Have you been able to take the oath, Admiral?
Not yet, Madam Chair.
Not yet, sir. Comsec, paki-administer yung oath kay Admiral Ong.
May I request that you stand up and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, please state your name, do solemnly swear that I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to this committee. Thank you.
Salamat, Comsec, at salamat po, Admiral. Is it correct that you authored a study on malign foreign influence and interference in the Philippines, Admiral?
Correct, Madam Chair. That is a product of a funded study, and I have a team that conducted the study.
Salamat po. With your permission, I'd like to read a portion of your study that I found striking. So, quote, POGOs represent a prime example of economic activities with criminal underpinnings, including collusion with local government officials. These operators have likely evolved into platforms for foreign influence, facilitating illegal activities while exerting subtle pressure on local politics. For example, former Bamban Mayor Guo was implicated in POGO-related scandals, along with allegations of being a Chinese spy by confessed Chinese spy Shi Zhijian. illustrating how local officials can be entangled in broader geopolitical dynamics. POGO's infrastructure also provides a basis for conducting influence operations, including hosting troll farms. These existing digital networks can be employed to manipulate public perception and sway political outcomes. While the CPP does not uniformly endorse these operations, they can still be used to stir internal conflicts and exploit nationalistic sentiments, thereby maintaining a monopoly on power and limiting rival influences. Moreover, investigations into illegal POGO activities revealed the fraudulent acquisition of land by Chinese nationals using falsified documents and Filipino proxies. This fraudulent behavior has serious security implications, affecting local governance and creating long-term vulnerabilities for the country. Close quote. In your opinion, likely po ba talaga ang paggamit o na ginamit ang POGO para sa interes ng dayuhang bansa? Admiral.
I would agree, Madam Chair. That is part and parcel of the methodology that they have employed as a tool of statecraft.
Alright, salamat po. Maraming salamat po, Admiral. And para ipagpatuloy yung line of questioning with the good Admiral and earlier with the good Deputy Director General, I would like to introduce our next resource person. Mr. Wang Fugu is live on Zoom and joining us here today. Ms. Caroline, please assist in translating the chair's interpellation with Mr. Wang. Hello, Mr. Wang.
你好，王先生。
Could you please turn on your video, Mr. Wang?
能不能打开你的视频？
Ni hao, Mr. Wang.
王先生你好。
Hello.
Hello.
听到我的说话吗？
能听到你 ？Can you hear? Can you hear?
Yes,
me?
we can hear you. Can you please open your video?
能不能打开你的摄像头？
Okay, right now I try.
谢谢。
You are welcome.
Are you able to open your video, Mr. Wang?
Okay, right now I trying open to video. Waiting. Sorry.
Thank you. It's all right. We'll wait. So Mr. Wang is just setting up his computer camera.
Okay.
Okay, we can see you also now. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Wang.
Yeah.
So I'll ask my first question. During the time you and Mr. She were in prison together, you were allowed to have visitors, right?
第一个问题，你跟佘志江先生在监狱期间，你们被允许接待访客吗？
Madam Chairperson，在2023年9月20日，佘志江先生通过国际媒体发布那个不自杀声明之前，他是允许被探视的。但是不自杀声明发布之后，他的那个探视权就被限制了。自从那次之后的话，他就多次被关禁闭。目前他已经在泰国的死囚犯监狱里面关闭近2个月了。
Okay, so in the interview that was done in 2023 in September, so he was allowed to receive interviews from international media, but after that, his visitation was restricted, and he has been kept in Thailand in a restricted area for 2 months already.
I see. And that interview, yes, Mr. Wang.
Yes. 全世界都知道，中泰两国抓捕他的理由是所谓的经营赌场罪，而且这个所谓的经营赌场罪，其实是2013年佘志江先生在菲律宾经营的合法的博彩生意。我们也不止一次强调了这一点，但是中泰两国完全无视了我们提供的证据。如果在菲律宾经营合法的博彩生意也是犯罪的话，那么犯罪的就不是佘志江先生一个人，而是菲律宾整个国家都犯了中国的那个经营赌场罪了。很显然，中国的执法权越界了，这其实是一场政治清洗和迫害。麻烦翻译先翻译一下，然后我稍后还有一些话。
好的，我会尽量把你说的话就翻译，因为有点长，所以如果有缺了一些，麻烦你来补充一下好吗 ？Okay, so let me just translate it in the best possible way that I can. All right. So there is cooperation between China and Thailand, wherein they deem that the operations of Mr. She are illegal, especially in operating the gambling operations. And actually, in 2013, in the Philippines, the operations that Mr. She has is actually legal. Okay, but because of the China and Thailand their agreement, so this is considered illegal. So if this is the case, that this kind of gambling is considered illegal, then it's not only Mr. She who should be condemned, because he is working together with a group of people, and it is also possible that if this is considered illegal, other people in the Philippines would also be condemned. So it's actually a matter of the agreement between the two countries.
Oh, all right. Let's backtrack a bit. I want to ask follow-up questions about what you first said. Now, you said that previously, Mr. She was allowed to have visitors, including interviewers. But after that interview, and I presume you're referring to the Al Jazeera interview, his access to visitors was restricted, and you said for 2 months now. Aside from that, and in more detail, was there a change in the circumstances of Mr. She after the Al Jazeera interview and after the Zoom interview by my office?
我们先回复一下刚才你回答的，关于这个佘先生，你说就是他接受采访之后，从那个国际媒体接受采访之后，你说他被他的这些采访被控制了，那之后呢？之后他的情况是如何改变呢？特别是我们听证会之后，有播放了这个视频，他的情况有如何改变？
在半岛的那个采访播出和参与会的那个听证会之后，佘志阳先生就被泰国关进了那个泰国的中央监狱的那个死囚室，而且遭到了狱警的长时间殴打。 而且还禁止他验伤就医，至今已经瘫痪无法行走，然后坐在轮椅上生活不能够自理。监狱方拒绝提供视频和拒绝回答一切律师和所有媒体的问题。我们是通过佘志阳先生的人权律师得到消息的。然后之前已经说了，就是泰国跟佘志阳先生是没有任何矛盾的，然后佘志阳先生也从来没有违反泰国的法律，甚至可以讲佘志阳先生从未触犯过任何国家的法律。所以说佘志阳先生在泰国遭受的一切恐怖迫害都来自中国政府的指使，这就是根本的原因。如果中国政府真的只是因为经营赌场罪而抓捕佘志阳先生的话，那么佘志阳先生可以随便和包括菲律宾政府在内的所有外界人员对话和联系。一个小小的经营赌场罪，为什么会有那么高级别的政府保密措施？经营赌场的罪名，而且是带引渡人员，需要关押在那个死刑犯的监狱里面吗？而且还给他穿上那个死刑犯的衣服，还带上那个死刑犯的那个脚镣，而且还禁止亲属给他存在监狱里面的生活费。据我所知，菲律宾政府已经用各种外交方式想探访佘志阳先生，但这些都被泰国政府拒绝了。这本身就说明了这个案子根本与那个经营赌场罪无关。泰国政府跟佘志阳先生的这个案子也没有任何的关系。拒绝菲律宾外交探访的是中国政府，包括挑起菲律宾政府混乱和政坛仇恨的幕后黑手，也是中国的情报部门。中国希望让郭华平的案子在混乱和内斗中不了了之。这也是大家联系佘志阳先生困难的原因。其实幕后的那个东方大国才是一切问题的根源。好的，翻译比较长。
我能翻译一下，就是要回答参议员的问题吗？Okay, 就是首先前几句。Okay, so let me just translate first the answer to your question, Madam Chair. Actually, after the interview with Al Jazeera and after the Senate hearing, Mr. She was actually moved to a more stricter area that is the central jail or something that is in the center of Thailand. So he has been there for quite some time now, and because of that, he also his movements is not also convenient, and the only information that we got are from the lawyer because his communication was also restricted. And going back, just to summarize what Mr. Wang was telling about the case. So actually, this case is also. If this case is considered illegal, so that's what he was saying, that means it would also involve the people in the Philippines, the politicians in the Philippines as well. So yes, so that is the summary of what was said by Mr. Wang a while ago.
All right, thank you. I'll go back and forth with your answers to my questions because there are things I want to follow up. Mr. Wang, how do you know that Mr. She's circumstances changed? How do you know that he was transferred to a stricter area and all the details you have given us?
OK， 王先生，我们再问一下关于刚才的问题。那你怎么知道，这个佘先生他就被关在那个中央的监狱呢？你是如何得到这个信息？
因为是那个。佘志阳先生的那个人权律师那边给我们反馈的消息。
Okay, this was the news that was brought to us by the attorney of Mr. She.
Okay, and what do you think caused it, Mr. Wang? Why do you think Mr. She was transferred and all these other details that you told us?
你觉得为什么佘先生会搬到这个中央的监狱呢？
因为的话，这个就是听证会还有那个采访播出之后，这个 这个原因的话，有可能是激怒了中共，还有那个就是一些方面的原因吧。就是佘志阳先生就是掌握了太多的机密，所以说才激怒了中共，中共才会指使就是泰国政府就是把佘志阳先生就是转换到那个最严格的监狱当中。
So the reason why that he was put in the strictest condition, it's because he is holding a lot of confidential information.
All right, thank you, Mr. Wang. Now, Mr. Wang, you have said repeatedly that we need to talk to Mr. She. Why do you think it is urgent to speak to Mr. She?
王先生，您一直重复要我们跟佘先生谈谈。那你为什么觉得跟佘先生谈的很重要呢？
实话说，现在我们很多外界真的不能确定是不是佘志阳先生的目前的那个健康状况，甚至也不能就是确定他是否还活着。就是佘志阳留给我保管的一些那个解密档案，有大量的那些就是解密是需要他本人授权的，而且我们希望在保证佘志阳先生安全的情况下，就是向世界大众公开他们。跟佘志阳先生通话是非常重要的，就是包括菲律宾政府想要的资料，都应该就是需要得到他本人的授权。因为我只是一个那个资料的保管者，所以说我们有权利就是私自处理和解密他们。
Okay. So actually, right now, I could not confirm if he is still alive because for me, I am just the one who's safekeeping the documents, but I don't have the authority to reveal this confidential information that he has. So I think that is the reason why he was moved into this more stricter condition.
Why do you say that you can't confirm if Mr. She is still alive, Mr. Wang?
你刚才说你没办法确认佘先生现在还活着，为什么这样说呢？
因为的话，泰国的监狱方已经就是断绝了那个佘志阳先生对外的一切联系。这个是目前佘志阳先生的状况，就是我们也无法就是联系到佘志阳先生，包括他的亲属也无法联系到佘志阳先生本人。
Okay, because all communications with Mr. She have been prohibited since then, and we really do not know what is happening to him right now, and even his family members do not have contact with him.
I see. And speaking of, you can't confirm if he's still alive or in life and death questions. Is that a bulletproof vest you're wearing, Mr. Wang?
王先生，你现在穿的是这个访谈衣服吗？
对的。
Yes, correct.
Why are you wearing a bulletproof vest, Mr. Wang?
为什么穿这个访谈衣服呢？
是为了个人的安全吧。因为的话，就是某些势力，就是他们都能够通过那个泰国高级别的那个严格的监狱，能够把佘志阳先生就是虐待殴打，然后导致他瘫痪。所以说，他们在背后那个强大的实力是不能忽视的。所以说，安全问题是必须要注意的。
I'm wearing this for my own personal safety because we do not know how strong the Thai government are, especially because I know that the Thai government, they are keeping Mr. She right now. We do not know if he is experiencing torture, being hit, or any other violent things. So we do not know the safety or the strength of the Thai government.
All right, well, you stay safe, Mr. Wang. And just for the record, I would like to make of record that the committee does not necessarily endorse the expressions of concern about the Thai government, but do stay safe, Mr. Wang. And I have a few more questions for you, but just for you to know, we will ask the Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs to communicate to Thai authorities that Mr. She's safety needs to be confirmed, Mr. Wang.
OK，希望你在那边会很安全但是我们会通过我们的外交部来跟那个泰国的警部或是泰国的政府跟他们沟通，让你的安全来保护你的这个个人的安全。那我们接下来还有其他的问题。
Now, Mr. Wang, yes.
请说话。
Mr. Wang, did Mr. She tell you about the intelligence activities that he did for the Ministry of State Security?
请问史先生有没有跟你说关于他在国家安全部的一些情报的活动呢？
他是有说过，他也承认他是那个国安部的那个干员，就是他其实的话就是早就担忧过自己的那个处境很危险嘛，因为中国的那个政治斗争近几十年来非常激烈，他所从事的统战，还有“一带一路”和政府渗透的工作，所涉及的内容非常的复杂，而且还涉及了大量的资产，所以根本无法预测自己的安危。为此呢，他早就开始了一些那些敏感资料的备份。
Yes, Mr. She has already admitted to me before that he has indeed been part of this Ministry of Security in China, but he also admitted about being part of the work in the Belt and Road Initiative, and also because this actually involves other assets and it's very complicated, and there are a lot more confidential information about this.
And I guess that speaks to what the Deputy Director General said about the nexus between economic activities and other activities, including criminal activities, and that angle of possible espionage. And Mr. Wang, there is information from some netizens that Mr. She... There's information from some netizens that Mr. She instigated a prison assault. Can you speak to that?
有一个报告就说史先生他就开始这个在监狱里面的一些打击，你能不能更详细的说一下？
就是他在监狱里面就是被虐待殴打的情况嘛。
就是他有开启一种打击这样反击，有没有这种？
是什么方面的反击呢？就是他在监狱里面是什么方面的反击，还是他就是在监狱里面就是被虐待殴打的情况？麻烦就是清楚的解释一下。
Okay. So this kind of assault, can you please explain, Madam Chair, what kind of assault was this?
It's all right. We just received this information from some netizens on the internet, so that's all the detail I can provide about it. I can go on to my last few questions, Mr. Wang. What did you mean when you said there are many spies and they're not all Chinese?
你说有很多间谍，但不是所有都是中国人，你如何能解释？
佘亮先生曾经跟我说过，就是中国的那个间谍组织是非常庞大而且复杂的，就是他所在的国安系统也是其中的一个系统，而且他们的目标非常的多元化，不只是针对海外的华人，还有很多国家的富商，就是都曾经为中国的那个间谍组织工作，所以说中国的间谍渗透不仅仅是招募华人。也有著名的菲律宾政界人士和商界人士，但是这个需要问佘江先生本人，他应该很清楚这方面的事情，但很可以确定的是，马东立是菲律宾谍报活动的关键人物，因为佘江先生在菲律宾接触的政商人物都是马东立对接安排的。
So actually the question about this is a bit complicated because it's not only they are not only targeting Chinese, but they are also targeting some Filipinos or other members of the in the government. So it has a lot of, it is wide and it's complicated. And if you want to know the details, we have to ask Mr. She personally. And actually about Ma Dongli, he is actually the one who introduced these people to Mr. She. He's like the bridge introducing these people. So he is actually the more important or key person here.
All right. Yes, Ma Dongli does seem to be very important. But Mr. Wang, did you also mean that there are Filipinos working against the interests of the Philippines?
你刚才说的意思就是，也有一些菲律宾人，就是好像在反对或是就是在背叛我们菲律宾国家吗？
是的，就是据佘志亮先生所掌握的，就是他掌握的一些资料来说是的，但是这些资料的公开的话，还是需要就是去问一下佘志亮先生本人。
Yes, that is correct. Based on the information that is provided by Mr. She, but of course we have to confirm this with Mr. She.
I understand, Mr. Wang. And do you have in the decrypted files the names of Filipino citizens?
请问一下，在这些解密的文档里面有没有这些菲律宾人的名单呢？
这个的话还是需要菲律宾政府去，就是去与佘志亮先生是直接对话。然后因为这些公开的话需要他的本人的授权，这边的话我非常抱歉，就是无法提供。
I apologize if I cannot provide this information because again, this is information from Mr. She, and he doesn't give any authority for anyone to reveal this.
All right, I understand, Mr. Wang. Now, would there be other countries interested in the testimony of Shi Zhijiang?
你觉得有没有其他国家对这个佘先生他的证据有兴趣呢？
目前所知道的这些解密档案的话，有美国还有英国政府会感兴趣的APT 31、APT 40、APT 12等这些就是在中国国安指使下进行的间谍活动的一些资料。而且这些只是解密档案的一小部分，还有剩下的很多不太方便透露，抱歉，因为就是涉及到佘志亮先生本人的安全，还有保密的内容，还有他本人的授权问题，所以说暂时不能公开。
So what I know is that other governments such as the USA and the United Kingdom or the UK are very interested with this information about the espionage and also about the APT 41, 40, and 12. Okay, so actually this is just a small portion of the many more information that is within Mr. She. That's why I apologize if I could only give you the minimum of the information.
It's all right, Mr. Wang. I was also interested, aside from the US and the UK, if any other governments here in Asia would be interested in the testimony of She.
请问除了这些美国跟英国，有没有其他亚洲国家对这些证据有兴趣呢？
据解密档案里面的内容来说的话是有的，但是还是那句话，还是需要就是菲律宾政府去就是直接与佘志亮先生对话，可以获得那个更加有价值的一些情报吧。
Yes, there is, and just like what I said a while ago, it is better to communicate directly with Mr. She to be able to know the exact details of these answers.
I understand, Mr. Wang, and maybe later, Deputy General Asidillo, if there's a chance, we might want to comment on the other APT mentioned, APT 12, if it has come up in your investigations of the Council, of the authority, and if you're able to speak about it, APT 12 in open hearing. So just for my last set of questions for you this morning, Mr. Wang, why is it important for governments like the Philippines to speak to She?
最后一个问题，你觉得为什么一些国家的政府，比如说菲律宾政府，他们必须跟佘先生交谈？
他的确是掌握了那个非常大量的那些解密档案，就是郭华平间谍案的那些资料，只是我们手头上资料的很小的一部分。就是我们也希望所有世界的那些爱好和平与自由的那些国家政府来关注佘志阳先生被非法关押和遭受政治迫害的那个案件里面来，就是对接佘志阳先生，让佘志阳先生把他所掌握的一些证据和资料就是公布出来，就是阻止独裁专制政府他们的邪恶计划。
So the files that are in Mr. She's possession right now, they are really enormous. They are big. There are a lot, and for the countries who would like to advocate for peace, and for other countries, maybe this will be very useful for them. And we have to work together to stop this problem from continuing.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Wang. And finally, do you have a message for the Philippine government or for other governments who may be interested in the files of Xi Jinping?
你对我们菲律宾政府还有其他对这个档案有兴趣的国家有什么信息吗？
是说是除了菲律宾以外的其他国家吗？
是的。
美国和英国吧，就是美国和英国，就是佘志阳先生手头上有他们非常感兴趣的档案资料，就是我也希望美国和英国就是介入和关注佘志阳先生的案件，就是让更多的那个就是让更多的那个真相公布于天下。然后那个郭华平间谍案的资料只是我们手头上很小一部分的档案而已，就是还有更多的档案就是有待于解密和公布。
So I would like to advise other countries who are interested in this information, like to continue on following and to be attentive to all the information with the gathering of information, because in fact the information that we gave about Guo Hua Ping is only a small portion of the big chunk of information that we have.
All right, Mr. Wang, 谢谢. Stay safe, and as I said earlier, we will ask our Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs to communicate to the Thai authorities that Mr. Shi's safety needs to be confirmed.
OK， 非常感谢王先生。那就是我刚才说过，我们会跟外交部跟他们交流，就是能够保证你的安全。
好的，就是我现在不在泰国，就是我也不能说我具体在什么地方，就是也是非常感谢，就是也希望你们就是菲律宾政府就是更加就是联系泰国政府，就是督促泰国政府更加关注佘志阳先生本人的安全。
In fact, I am not in Thailand right now, and I could not reveal where I am right now. But what I wanted to say is that for the Philippines to ensure the safety of Mr. Shi.
So we will ask our Department of Foreign Affairs to do what they can. So again, Mr. Wang, thank you and take care.
非常感谢。
You are welcome.
Deputy Director General, in your opinion, is obtaining those files valuable to the Philippines?
Very valuable, Madam Chair, because hopefully it will establish three things with regard to Mr. Ma Dongli, Mr. Xie Zhijiang, and even Guo Hua Ping. Those documents will hopefully establish if they are bona fides, whether foreign intelligence officers, foreign intelligence agents, and who are their assets, especially here in the Philippines. The fact that, as claimed by, I'm sorry,
Wang Fugu.
Wang Fugu. Thank you, Madam Chair. The fact that Wang Fugu, according to him, that these documents are encrypted, this is very much in keeping with the type of security measures are in place, usually involving documents of this kind, Madam Chair. So they are of utmost importance. We, in fact, in the agency would be very, very interested in obtaining these documents.
And the committee shares the interest of NICA Deputy Director General. Any quick comment about the APT 12 mentioned by Wang Fugu?
Madam Chair, I'm currently awaiting feedback from my staff as to the extent of the APT activities here in the Philippines. Some of them have been identified specifically by number and by nickname. For convention, Madam Chair, APTs that are involved, that are Chinese affiliated, bear the name Panda. Yes, Madam Chair?
Panda.
Yes, Madam Chair. And those that are affiliated with Russia carry the naming convention Bear. So we're trying to, I'm still awaiting feedback from my staff as to which of the APTs that are affiliated with China have been monitored so far here in the Philippines.
Thank you, Deputy Director General. Pwedeng cute sana yung mga nickname, no? Kung hindi masama yung implikasyon sa sa ating bansa. So, thank you. And before we proceed, I just wish to state that, of course, Mr. Wang's statements will be weighed against the other testimonies and also against those received by the committee, documents received by, evidence received by the committee. All right. So I'd like to go first to, next rather, to, before CEZA and also Mr. Wang, I'd like to go to the, Mr. Yang, I'm sorry. I'd like to go to first to the Department of Foreign Affairs, because I was about to say that I hope DFA took note of my assurance to Mr. Wang, what we would request the department on behalf of the safety of Mr. She, and also what the Deputy Director General said, that those documents would be very valuable to us, and contacting Mr. She and interviewing him further would be very valuable to us. Would it be Undersecretary Domingo to respond, sir? Could you please provide an update on the department's efforts to contact CEZA, and could you tell us how long the cited MLAT process would take, kung yun po yung ating dadaanang proseso?
Good morning, Madam Senator,
morning,
dear colleagues. Yes, first we take due note, and we will take action on conveying to the Thai government the need to confirm, ensure the safety of Mr. She Zhejiang.
Thank you so much for that, Yusek. That's quite urgent based
Yes,
on what Mr. Wang has told us. Yes, sir, please proceed.
Okay, so with respect to interviewing Mr. She Zhejiang, after making representations with the government of Thailand, so we have been informed by the Thai government that the matter of interviewing falls under the purview of the ASEAN Treaty on Mutual Legal Assistance on criminal matters, as you have cited, ma'am, to which both Thailand and the Philippines are states parties. But the central authority under the ASEAN MLAT is the Department of Justice. So we had endorsed this to the Department of Justice for its appropriate action. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, Yusek. But even if DOJ will pick up the baton from here on, kung MLAT po yung dadaanan nating proseso, ganong katagal-tatagal po yun?
Madam, it's difficult to say at this point, but as soon as we can find out more, we will duly inform you, ma'am.
Yes, please, sir, because the information we have is that it would take 1 year. And in matters of seemingly great urgency like this one, that might be just too long and something happened both to the person and to the very valuable information that he reportedly holds and would be of great value to our country, sir.
Yes, Madam. We will also impress upon the Thai government the urgency of this matter and request for their soonest acceptance of our processing of our request. Of course, through this in coordination with the Department of Justice.
Thank you, Yusek. And in that request by your department and that of the Justice Department, that request for urgency that they soonest take action, kung ang average time sa ilalim ng MLAT ay 1 taon, may posibleng express lane ba ng MLAT that you could foresee could be taken by both governments o parallel process sa MLAT para lang at the very least, no, masigurong buhay pa yung tao, safe siya, and ma-procure ng gobyerno natin yung mahalagang impormasyon niya. Sir.
Yes, Madam. On our part, we will really press the urgency of the matter. But perhaps, of course, the Department of Justice may be in a better position to ascertain the timelines on MLAT. Thank you.
Thank you, Yusek. We will communicate with the department as well about that. Salamat po. And one more question at this point, Yusek. The department has made some findings on the co-conspirators of Zhang Ruijin and Lin Baoyin. These are co-incorporators of Guo Hua Ping in Bamban. Can you share these findings with the committee?
Ma'am, if I may, I may just confer with my colleagues at this point and may return to this shortly. Thank you.
Yes, you may, Yusek. Salamat po. I'll return to that also in a bit when you are ready. So now I'd like to, while we're waiting for the DFA's response to that question, may I ask our resource persons from CEZA a couple of several questions. So will that be Attorney De Guzman?
Yes, Madam Chair. Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning po. So would you agree with me that perhaps it's not in our country's best interest to issue visas to foreign intelligence agents involved in espionage operations for a foreign country?
Yes, Madam Chair.
And can you confirm that CEZA visas were indeed issued to Ma Dongli and Shi Zhejiang?
Madam Chair, per records of CEZA, a visa was issued to Mr. Shi Zhejiang. It was issued last December 15, 2014, but was canceled July 8, 2016 after the resignation of Mr. Shi Zhejiang from a company who is a locator of CEZA, who was a locator of CEZA.
And which company was this, attorney?
It's Tiegan Supreme Networks Corporation, Madam Chair.
Tiegan?
Tiegan, T-I-E-G-A-N, Supreme.
Tiegan Supreme
Networks Corporation.
Networks Corporation. And what about to Ma Dongli? Was a CEZA visa issued to him?
Unfortunately, Madam Chair, we will have to take a look at our records. We have only prepared records of Mr. Shi Zhejiang.
Thank you,
We'll
Attorney.
take a look at it and submit it to your committee, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And I'll see if I was able or not to show a CEZA visa issued also to Ma Dongli for your confirmation. I think we have one. Did CEZA, under its former administrator, have business transactions with Shi Zhejiang? And isn't it true that, in fact, Yatai Group entered into a memorandum of agreement with CEZA, represented by its then administrator, Secretary Raul Lambino? Tama po ba yon?
Unfortunately, Madam Chair, I am not aware of those things, Madam Chair, because the former deputy administrator of CEZA is no longer with the organization, and I have not been present during the administration of former administrator Raul Lambino. But we will get a hold of the records of CEZA and inform your office, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Attorney. But at least based on this report entitled Chinese Firm Invests $2 billion on Cagayan Isle published in the Manila Times, reporting a $2 billion smart city on Fuga Island, which will be constructed under a memorandum of understanding between the CEZA and the Xiamen-based Fengzi Enterprise Corp. It would be hard for a broadsheet to publish about an MOU between an economic zone authority and a foreign enterprise, also citing the quoting or citing the CEZA, the then CEZA administrator and CEO Secretary Lambino. So, and that it would probably be true, right? If you could find this MOU in your files. And in fact, this news report we got from the CEZA website, Attorney.
Yes, Madam Chair, we are aware that there was a plan to develop Fuga Island, but during the administration of the current administrator, Secretary Katrina Ponce Enrile, she ensured that no development will be done in Fuga Island, as we are well aware of the significance of the island to national security. In fact, our administrator is currently coordinating closely with DND to ensure and protect the Fuga Island.
In fact, I even recall a position paper or a public statement issued in 2020 by the father of the current administrator and who is currently Chief Presidential Legal Counsel, Juan Ponce Enrile, laying out the points that you have just made, Attorney. But I think it would stand to reason, common sense, that if we got this news report from the CEZA website, then the facts stated therein must actually be facts, tama po?
I suppose so, Madam
All
Chair.
right, thank you, Attorney. And is it correct also na binebenta ni She ang blockchain sa CEZA at nakapagdaos pa ng Global Blockchain Summit noong 2018, which was attended, here, photos would show, which was attended by Mr. Lambino?
Again, Madam Chair, I'm sorry, but we have nothing, we have not prepared any records showing a license of blockchain issued to Mr. Shezi Jiang. We will look into it and we will give a notice to your office should we find any, Madam Chair.
So at least you would be able, Attorney, to confirm to my office kung natuloy yung pagbebenta ni siya ng blockchain sa
Yes,
CEZA.
Madam Chair, we will look into it po.
But apparently the Global Blockchain Summit in 2018 with Shi Zhejiang present was attended also by Mr. Lambino. Right, Attorney?
Based on the pictures, Madam Chair, I can see Secretary Lambino.
Yes. Thank you, Attorney. And what can you comment about, I showed the slide of this earlier, what can you comment about corruption allegations involving Mr. Lambino? Have these been substantiated? And for the record, dear colleagues and Attorney, we sought to invite Mr. Lambino, but he had another earlier appointment. He said, sayang at pagkakataon sana nila ito para masagot nila mismo yung mga alegasyong ito. But can you comment on these allegations and if they have been substantiated or not?
Madam Chair, we heard rumors when we came in, but there's nothing concrete at the moment that we have any evidence that would substantiate allegations of corruption on former Administrator Lambino when it comes to visa. But I heard he had some cases filed in the Office of the Ombudsman, but I am not privy of the details, Madam Chair.
All right, Attorney. Sabi niyo, CEZA has no evidence of corruption by the former administrator when it comes to visas. What about corruption when it comes to other things? And did CEZA investigate all or any of these allegations?
Unfortunately, Madam Chair, the people handling the visas during his stints no longer with CEZA.
And what about
Yes.
other matters under CEZA? Any
There's one
corruption
case.
allegations there?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Or
I think there's
evidence?
one case that was lodged in the Office of the Ombudsman involving a parcel of land.
Mm. On Fugu Island?
No, ma'am.
Where?
Within the town of Santa Ana.
Town of Santa Ana. All right. And any other evidence? All right. So that's one case ostensibly with evidence submitted on a non-visa issue, but the issue of land in Santa Ana. And did CEZA itself investigate any at all of these allegations, attorney?
We are still doing that, Madam Chair. We are still looking into these allegations, and we will be, like the matter regarding the land, the administrator will not hesitate to file necessary charges if so warranted.
And aside from the matter of the land, which other allegations is CEZA looking into at present?
Generally, those matters indicated in the article, Madam Chair.
So visas, land, what else, attorney?
Receipt
blockchain
of
sale.
bribery of,
all right.
I think, 5 million.
I see. All right. Anything else, attorney, that CEZA is looking into right now?
That's about it, Madam Chair.
That's it. All right. Now, CEZA has repeatedly stated that it has no POGO and it will never have POGOs. So I just want to make sure that this isn't just a matter of semantics. Does CEZA have offshore gambling operations? And if you do, if CEZA does it intend to continue those offshore gambling operations? Attorney.
Madam Chair, if I may be allowed, we have an official statement of our administrator regarding this matter.
Sure. How long is it, attorney?
Just 2 pages, Madam Chair.
Please proceed.
First of all, I seek the committee's indulgence as I cannot personally attend this committee meeting. I left the country last November 19 while the invitation from the committee was received by my office last November 21. I would like to thank the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality, together with the Committees on Migrant Workers and Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, for inviting Cagayan Economic Zone Authority as one of the resource speakers in today's public hearing. We would like to put on record CEZA's full support and cooperation on the banning of POGO operations in our country, as stated under Executive Order Number 74. Being a member of the Technical Working Group on Anti-Illegal Offshore Gaming Operations, created pursuant to Executive Order Number 74, we vow to take active participation and cooperation with the mandate given by the President to the task force. CEZA also takes cognizance of the memorandum from the Executive Secretary instructing us to remain consistent with RA 7922, CEZA's charter, and adhere to the directive of the President in his State of the Nation address to ban POGOs in the Philippines. Consistent with our previous pronouncements, there are no POGOs within the jurisdiction of CEZA. There never was and there never will be. CEZA locators are not engaged in gambling. There are no bets coming in, nor are any bets being processed within the country. We have well-defined operational borders. CEZA has its own data center and internet service provider, which effectively limits internet traffic to outbound, meaning all data and all content are streamed outside the country, and no inbound data and bets are received. Control over the data center and the internet service provider provides CEZA with the unique ability to monitor inbound and outbound traffic, thus ensuring data integrity from source to destination of CEZA stakeholders. IP blocking is also in place, which prevents users from the Philippines and other countries where online gambling is prohibited from accessing the websites. Geographically, our area of operations is also well secured. We only have one entry and exit point, thus allowing us to implement control measures over visitors, local or foreign, into the zone. In fact, for many months now, we have instituted a visitor screening system that allows us to say with a high degree of confidence that no individuals fleeing from anti-POGO operations elsewhere in the country will be allowed to enter our zone. CEZA issues the working visas of expats intending to work within the zone. Hence, we can effectively limit the ratio of Filipino to foreign employees. At present, we are maintaining 80% Filipinos and only 20% or less foreign employees, which prevents the proliferation of foreign individuals inside the zone. CEZA has also been cleared by AMLC as compliant to AMLA. This can be attributed to the strict monitoring and continuous efforts to educate our locators regarding AML rules and regulations. Finally, our CEZA locators have never been involved in crimes associated with POGO operations like human trafficking and other allied crimes. A certification from PNP Santa Ana and PNP Region 2 is hereby submitted to the committee to affirm such assertion. And lastly, we are taking additional technological advancements such as dedicated Internet Protocol Exchange, eKYC platform, digital identification system that is fully integrated with the eKYC, and dynamic website seal, among others, to ensure that CEZA's operation and its locators will remain to be POGO-free. Thank you, Madam
Thank you,
Chair.
Attorney. And I'm almost sure you've submitted that statement in writing. Please submit it in hard copy to the committee. And the chair notes the important references to the RA, the Republic Act itself, the Charter of CEZA, and the executive order issued by the Office of the President and the Executive Secretary, the participation of the CEZA administrator in the anti-illegal offshore operations, as well as the other details given in the letter to substantiate the position stated earlier about not having POGOs and never going to have POGOs. But again, just to be very clear about the words we are using. So does CEZA have offshore gambling operations?
None within the economic zone, Madam Chair.
None within the economic zone.
And
But-
none within the country.
And within the country. But does CEZA have offshore gambling operations outside the zone and outside the country?
There are offshore gaming licensees which are operating outside the country.
Offshore gaming licensees operating outside the country. All right. And I think, and I'll get to questions later, originally for DOJ and for the ES, the Office of the ES, about these important terminologies at yung pagsisigurado natin na walang malabo at walang loopholes dun mismo sa EO na inisyo nila. And so, and do you intend to continue, does CEZA intend to continue with these offshore gaming licensees operating outside the country, Attorney?
Madam Chair, as stated po sa statement ng aming administrator, kami po ay susunod, tatalima sa executive order po at saka sa memorandum po na in-issue ng Office of the Executive Secretary. Kung ang amin pong paniniwala, ang pinagbabawal po ay ang offshore gaming operations sa loob po ng bansa. So we believe that the conduct of interactive gaming licensees of CEZA outside the country, offshore, is not subjected with the provisions of the executive order, because their operations practically are outside the country po.
Kaya po, importante sa aming komite at sa aking opisina na i-engage yung office ng ES, Office of the President, para klaruhin pa yung EO at higpitan pa yung EO. Precisely because ang mga Economic Zone Authority tulad ng CEZA ay, eto nga, legally naman, ay sinasite itong EO at saka memorandum. So, right now, I may have a different understanding from the Office of the ES tungkol sa ano ang dapat iban. But dahil in aid of legislation ito, at gusto din po ng komite na base po sa batas at base din sa mga executive issuances tulad ng EO at memorandum, kaya i-engage namin sila para klaruhin ito, para yung letter at yung spirit nung ban na inanunsyo ng State of the Nation address ay masunod po talaga. And just another question, right now, Attorney. Who is Ray Roquero?
I think he was formerly a special assistant of former Secretary Raul Lambino.
Alright. Hindi na rin konektado si Mr. Roquero sa CEZA?
Wala na rin po.
Alright. Salamat, Attorney. And lastly, for this morning, okay. So ito na nga yung pinag-usapan natin ngayon lang. I was going to ask you kung sa pagkaintindi ba ng CEZA, covered kayo ng EO ng presidente na nagbaban sa POGO. So such that yung ban sa offshore gambling activities nag-apply din sa CEZA. So binubukod nyo yung offshore gambling activities outside the country.
Madam Chair, kami po, covered po kami ng executive order na bawal po kami na mag-accept at mag-operate po ng offshore gaming sa loob po ng bansa. So wala pong ganon, i-maintain po namin yon at sisiguraduhin po ng CEZA na wala pong POGO operations na magaganap po sa economic zone at sa bansa po.
Salamat, Attorney. I understand that. Baka nga yun yung crux of the matter or isang crux of the matter na para sa pananaw ko po ng komite, hindi ba covered din at bawal yung ganyang mga activities sa labas ng bansa. Basta dito nakabase yung negosyo. So that's still arguable now and we will pursue that with the Office of the Executive Secretaries. Before I go on to, I just need to make an entry into the record, and then before I go to Mr. Yang, a quick question both to NICA at kay Admiral Ong. May special risks ba ng malign foreign influence o interference operations sa mga economic zones in general? Admiral Ong, would you like to take that first?
Thank you for the question, Madam Chair. The vectors of malign influence covers three. That's economic, political, and information. So in this case, the way it works is economic investments are leveraged for political influence. Yun po yung value nun.
Salamat, Admiral. Deputy Director General?
Madam Chair, the problem we see with what's happening now is that the economic investments, or even just the mere enticement of huge investment, allows or rather disarms our government agencies who would otherwise be performing due diligence to not perform such due diligence. And we've seen this happen. I was alluding earlier, Madam Chair, to our ongoing effort to map out and detail the extent of such influence activities across our regions. And ang nakikita po namin, Madam Chair, and I will concur with the good Admiral, ang entry point po talaga economic. I will cite a particular example, Madam Chair, without mentioning the province, the region, and the company. Meron pong hindi nga po ito large investment. This would normally not fall under the purview of BOI or an economic zone. This will just go through the normal processing po ng businesses and licenses within a municipality. General merchandise po ang nature ng business. Nagtayo po ng building, pero makikita, sa baba po, general merchandise. Pero pag akyat nyo po sa taas, merong mga parang call center type of operation, which was not in the purview noon pong sa pinaalam nila in their application sa munisipyo. So, we relate that po to your earlier question, Madam Chair, with regard to export processing zones. They undergo a special lane. Normally po, they will not be under the regular scrutiny as accorded to other applicants po for businesses. So, pag na-disarm na po yan, pag wala na po yung normal checks and balances and those safeguards natin, they will now be easy conduits for other types, preferably illegal activities, which may be or which should be the objective in the first place. And the economic enticement was just a cover or to add a veneer of legality to ultimately what is an illegal operation, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Deputy Director General. Yung binanggit na kahit yung mere enticement no, ng large investments na kalaunan ile-leverage para sa political influence. Yung mere enticement reminds me of yung naudlot na sa Fuga Island daw na $2 billion. So very enticing po talaga. At mabuti na lamang ay hindi itinuloy. At yung sinabi nyo rin na kahit sa isang munisipyo, sa second floor ng isang di umanong general merchandising store, call center type operations, yun nakita natin in large scale sa earlier forms ng POGO hubs tulad sa Bamban at iba pa. Pero ngayon, ang ulat sa atin ay, ng mga people on the ground ay dahil naghahabol na makatakas dun sa deadline December 31, nagko-convert back sa mga mas maliliit na operasyon, yung nagmumukhang household-based lamang, pero POGO pa rin ang ginagawa. So maraming salamat, Deputy Director General at Admiral. Now, before I go on to a question for, yes, just one question for Mr. Yang. I just need to make an entry into the record of this hearing. According to Mr. Wang Fugu earlier, there's a crucial mistranslation. He said that the Chinese government is causing his safety problems, not the Thai government, as translated. So we enter this into the record for correction. All right. So now to Mr. Yang. Mr. Yang, and again, please assist the chair, Ms. Carolyn. Thank you. Mr. Yang, your file is also in the possession of CEZA. Do you wish to explain that?
杨先生，你的文档也在沈之江他的文档里面，那你能不能解释这个？
我真的我也不认识他，我也不知道什么有什么文档。
I don't know him and I don't know about this document.
Maybe I'll show the document to you again, Mr. Yang, so that you can remember it and maybe explain it. Are you working for a foreign government?
你是否为国外的政府工作呢？
没有啊。
No.
All right, Mr. Yang. And again, double thank you to Ms. Carolyn for translating kasi may impormasyon ako, Mr. Yang, at may nakitang mga photo or video na kausap nyo, kaming mga Pilipino, kahit walang translator. So, naiintindihan nyo kami. You don't need a translator, actually. All right, I'll go on to PAOK, please. To Director Guidato. Oh, I'm sorry. Assistant Secretary Tolejano, Deputy Executive Officer. Yes, sir. Sir, nakapagsumpa na kayo in previous hearings, tama po? Yes, I remember. Alright, so, Asek Tolejano. Sir, lumabas na po ba yung pangalan ni Shi Zhejiang sa mga investigasyon nyo sa POGOs?
So far, ma'am, we have already come up with the name of Sun Zhejiang in our investigation.
Alright. Now, yung Yatays pa, kilala po siyang associated kay Shi Zhejiang. Meron pong 2016 document na nag-indicate na yung Chonghua ay nag-ooperate sa Yatay Spa at na yung spa ay nag-ooperate ng casinos after officially opening in 2018. Ano naman po yung Nine Dynasty Group na tila business partner ng Yatay Spa? Ito po yung, ipa-flash po namin yung ad nila magkasama.
This is a big company, formerly associated with the other POGO company that we have raided.
Formerly associated po, hindi na sila associated itong Nine Dynasty Group, hindi na sila associated sa POGOs?
Yes, ma'am. Accordingly, they're still active right now.
Still active with POGO companies?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright po. So sa inyong pagkaunawa, ano yung nature ng business nitong Nine Dynasty Group?
Basically, ma'am, it's there more on gaming operations.
Gaming operations. At tama po ba na may connection itong Nine Dynasty Group sa Rivendell, yung POGO sa Pasay na kayo at ang DOJ iyakat ay ang nag-raid?
Ma'am, maybe we can allow Director Kidato use more.
All right, sir. And Director, you did take the oath earlier, sir, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So, Director Gidato, may connection nga ba itong Nine Dynasty Group at saka yung Rivendell?
Yes, Your Honor. They have the same incorporators, actually.
All right. And itong si Casmir Romero Eliazar, presidente ng Rivendell, so siya rin ay isa sa incorporator ng Nine Dynasty Group.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. So, as POGOs are winding down their operations, we've heard of guerrilla scam operations and even former POGO workers forming their own POGO companies and scam companies. Pwede po bang magbahagi ang PAOK ng insights kung gaano kalawak yung mga operasyong ito? Ano yung mga plano para siguruhin na yung mga scamming activities talagang mapapatigil?
Dahil po sa pagkaka-issue ng Executive Order number 74, yun po ang magiging IRR kung how we are going to do the operations against these POGOs. Hopefully, by the end of the year, matatapos na po natin yung mga coordinations at malalagyan na po natin yung mga standard operating procedures to completely stop the operations of these offshore gamings.
Ganong kalawak po yung operasyon ng mga guerrilla scam operations at mga scam companies na binubuo ng mga dating POGO workers?
Ganito po yan, ma'am. If I may, yung malalaki po ng mga POGO companies that we have traded before or that were existing before, ang nakikita po namin sa kanila ngayon is nagbe-breakdown sila into smaller groups. Some are even branding themselves now as PPOs.
Yeah.
So, iba-iba po ang style po nila, but most of them nagiging mga guerrilla groups na into 10s, 20s, where before they were operating in thousands. So, just like what we found in Parañaque, when we raided the Parañaque group, nakita po namin doon sa isang subdivision na meron silang inokupa
no 45 houses within the subdivision. Ganun po ang nangyayari po ngayon. They are breaking down to smaller groups.
Smaller groups pero maramihan pa rin. So maaring 10 to 40 workers pero sa 45 na bahay sa iisang subdivision.
Yes po, ganun po ang nakikita po namin. At some, like for example, yung isang recent trade namin, ang branding po nila sa kanilang kumpanya is BPO na po.
Yes. Importante po yun kasi yung BPOs, tulad ng remittances ng ating mga OFWs, yung BPOs ang isa sa top revenue generators talaga para sa gobyerno at para sa ekonomiya.
Yes, ma'am. Napakaganda po talaga ng mga BPOs actually.
Yes, of course.
Kung straight BPOs, napakaganda po talaga. It's a revenue generating
yes.
Group. But of course, like for example, yung POGO, dati maganda naman po yan, punta lang straight POGO. Pero dahil nga po sa nahaluan ng napakaraming mga problema, na lahat na po sila nagkadamay-damay na po, naging masama na po yung pangalan ng POGO. Hopefully, wag po itong mangyari sa mga BPOs.
Anong context po lumalabas yung pangalan ni Shi Zhejiang? At ano yung connection niya sa POGOs?
Si Shi Zhejiang po ay nag-operate po before dito sa Pilipinas. At ang kanyang ginawa rin po dito is offshore gaming. But that was way beyond, before yung pagkaka-create po ng administration ng isang oversight body katulad po ng PAGCOR. Wala pa po yung PAGCOR na control at that time over sa mga offshore gamings. So, siya po yung isa sa pinakamalaki before.
Si Shi?
Opo.
Si Shi Zhejiang, isa sa pinakamalaki. When you say isa sa pinakamalaki, bakit? Ilang POGO licenses ang ina-account for ni Shi?
Ang so far lang po na lumutang sa aming mga investigasyon kasi matagal na po yun, way before yung sa PAGCOR pa po. Ang data lang po na nakita namin dun sa kanyang na-raid na kumpanya sa Pasay, na na-explain nyo na po kanina.
Yun yung Rivendell? Or yung Nine Dynasty Group? Or yung Yatays pa? Alin po doon?
Meron pa po isa.
Alin po?
We will forward to you the name, ma'am.
Thank you.
Later on.
So isa sa pinakamalaki yon. Pero lahat-lahat, alam na po ba ninyo sa inyong investigasyon kung saan lumabas yung pangalan ni Shi Zhejiang tungkol sa POGOs? Kung ilan ang POGOs na kanya?
We are still looking at it, ma'am. Kung ilan po.
Alright. Isasubmit nyo naman po sa komite, ano po?
Yes, ma'am.
And ano po namang opinion nyo? Ano naman pong opinion nyo sa sinabi kanina ng CEZA resource person na walang POGOs doon at itutuloy lang nila ang ginagawa na nila sa ngayon? So yung offshore gaming licensees operating outside the zone and outside the country, ano pong opinion nyo doon?
Yun po ang report nila, ma'am. So, hindi po namin natitignan po.
Pero circumvention po ba yun ng ban ng POGOs or yung EO or yung memo?
Actually, ma'am, after the issuance of the EO 74, nag-issue po si Executive Secretary Bersanin ng isa pong memorandum to CEZA to adhere to the provisions of the EO 74.
So, babalikan po talaga namin yung Office of the ES para klaruhin yung tingin namin ay malabo pa rin sa EO at punuin yung mga gaps na nakikita pa namin sa EO na yon. Huli sa ngayon para sa... sorry. So, ganong kalawak po? Yung nakita ninyo, halimbawa sa Parañaque, yung nakikita ninyo na nagbe-break up into smaller groups o nagpapanggap na BPOs, ito ba sa Metro Manila lang or sa iba pang bahagi ng Luzon o sa lahat ng regions tulad ng sinasabi ng NICA na area of concern nila, at least as far as POGOs related to espionage are concerned?
Dahil po sa active ang PAOK dito po sa area ng Luzon area, we found that most of the POGOs are now in several areas of Visayas and even in Mindanao, ma'am.
Okay.
Nandun na po sila ngayon.
So nationwide na talaga.
Opo.
And totoo, dahil bukod sa mga na-read nyo dito at inimbestiga namin sa Luzon, merong Cebu, sa Visayas, merong Cagayan de Oro, sa Mindanao, at posibleng iba pa.
Madami po sila.
Marami. Okay. Alright. So huli po para sa PAOK ngayong umaga, Director, yes, ano pa po yung mga nakikita nyo mga patterns ng mga POGO enterprises ngayong pasara na yung mga official na POGO?
Inaalam pa po namin, ma'am, ngayon yung mga nangyayari. Nasa transition po tayo. October 15, nagsabi na po yung Bureau of Immigration na dapat ang mga POGO workers ay dapat maging i-downgrade na ang kanilang mga visa into tourist visas. So therefore, dapat sila nag-aasikaso na lang ng kanilang mga pamamaalam sa kanilang mga loved ones dito sa Pilipinas, nagbebenta ng kanilang mga condos o nag-aayos sa kanilang mga sasakyan, yung kanilang mga utang. But so far, nakikita namin na yung iba naman lumilipat lang ng ibang mga lugar. Nakikita namin po na maraming flights papunta sa Visayas area. Na doon po namin na monitor yung ibang mga tao na dating nagtatrabaho sa POGO. At nakikita rin po namin na yung iba naman, pinapalitan na yung kanilang mga pangalan sa Securities and Exchange Commission. Nagiging BPO na lang po. So hopefully, magkakaroon po kami ng meeting para po sa implementation ng EO 74. Doon po namin naayusin with other agencies on how we are going to do about the solving of these problems, ma'am.
Right. Salamat po para dyan, Director. So, interesting, no? Look out or wake-up call din ito or maybe just a cautionary note to SEC. Lalo na dun sa mga nagpapanggap na lang na BPO, nagpapalit lamang ng pangalan and yung nature of enterprise nila. Alright. Salamat, Director Kidato at kay ASEC Tolejano. Tamang-tama. Susunod na tanong ko para kina Attorney Pagirigan sa SEC. Yes, sir. Attorney Jonathan Pagirigan. So, aware po ba kayo dun sa mga huling binanggit ni Director Kidato na may mga POGOs nagpapalit na lang ng pangalan at nature of business sa SEC? Are you on the lookout for that already, Attorney?
Yes, Madam Chair. We are,
yes.
Your Honor. And actually, we are in coordination with Director Winnie on these POGOs, and we have been in exchange of data, Madam Chair.
And you have what, sir?
Exchange of data,
All right.
Madam Chair.
And will you be preventing those POGOs from magically transforming themselves into BPOs?
With the advent of the executive order issued by the President, Madam Chair, we are actually taking steps to assure that those who are actually engaging in POGOs would be informed and to comply with the executive order, Madam Chair.
And aside from informing them to comply with the EO, may proactive actions ba ang Commission para mapigilan sila magkunwari na lang na BPO?
Yes, Madam Chair. If we find or discover that these corporations or those engaging in POGO still continue to engage in POGO, definitely the SEC will take the necessary action, Madam Chair.
Pero corrective action na lang ba yon kung mag-convert sila into BPO pero mag-POGO pa rin pagkatapos? Hindi ba kasama sa exchange of data nyo yung data tungkol sa mga kasalukuyang POGO, tapos gaya ng sinabi ni Director Kidato, tatakbo sa SEC para magrehistro ulit pero kunyari BPO na sila?
May I confer quickly with my colleague,
Yes,
Madam
please.
Chair?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For those, Madam Chair, that would be amending their articles to be purely BPO, they should only act as BPOs, Madam Chair. But if they are still engaging in POGO activities, that would already be a violation of the executive order, Madam Chair.
So hindi nyo sila pipigilan. Kung POGO sila, tas pupunta sa SEC, hindi nyo sila pipigilan magrehistro ulit bilang BPO naman.
Actually, amendment only, Madam Chair.
Kaya nga po, kung mag-amend sila ng Articles of Incorporation bilang BPO, papayagan nyo sila.
May I confer again, Madam
Sure.
Chair?
You are the Assistant Director of SEC?
Yes, but
Who
for
do you
the
need to confer with?
Enforcement and Investor Protection Report, I'm conferring with our company registration and monitoring department,
Alright.
Madam Chair.
So yun yung tanong ko sa ngayon, hindi nyo ba pipigilan yung mga POGO ayon sa datos ng PAO na magpapalit ng articles sa SEC bilang BPO?
May I confer again,
Yes,
Madam
please.
Chair? Madam Chair, may we allow my colleague to address the query, Madam Chair?
Did the good colleague take the oath earlier? You did, sir? Please come to the mic. Dito na lang po. Yes, sir. You are?
Good morning, Madam Chair. I am Attorney Hale Oliver M. Labayo of the Company Registration and Monitoring Department, the
Attorney
Securities
Labayo.
and Exchange
Yes,
Commission
sir.
po. Magandang umaga po.
Magandang umaga. So, baguhin ko ng konti yung tanong ko. Kapag may POGO, pupunta sa SEC para i-amend yung kanilang articles bilang BPO na, anong vigilance ang i-exercise ng SEC para siguruhin na di na lang nila ulit lolokohin yung gobyerno?
Madam Chair, yung mga legitimates naman po na POGOs, yung hindi naman sila na-revoke dahil wala po silang violation sa batas po, they can still apply for an amendment po, ma'am. Papunta po sa BPO, ma'am. Provided naman po, ma'am, nagpalagay naman po kami ng kulatilya na susunod po sila sa batas. In case po, ma'am, na binayolate po nila yung BPO po, ma'am, may consequence po yun, ma'am. Magkakaroon po ng revocation proceedings dahil hindi na po nila sinunod yung kanilang primary purpose or other business purposes po, Madam Chair.
Alright. So yun yung vigilance na i-exercise ng SEC.
Yes po, Madam Chair.
Pero siguro naman kung notorious na POGO na may record ng criminal activity, iba na yun, ano po?
Iba na po yan, Madam Chair. Yung mga subject po ng mga legislative hearings na po, Madam Chair, yung iba po doon is revoked na po. So hindi na po sila pwedeng mag-engage sa BPO naman po, Madam Chair.
Alright. Or kung nasa datos ng PAOK
Yes po,
na
Madam Chair.
implicated in criminal activities
Yes po.
under the guise of POGO operations.
Yes po, Madam Chair. Lahat po nung, hindi ko ma-confirm lahat ng data, Madam Chair, pero almost lahat po na declared na po na nasa PAOK po or na subject for legislative hearings po, ang iba po doon is revoked na po yung status nila. Meaning, Madam Chair, wala na po silang juridical personality to engage in other businesses po. Kahit POGO pa man yun or other businesses po, hindi na po sila dapat nag-engage ng business po.
Alright. Hindi talaga dapat, and I hope that the SEC will be vigilant about that, no? Kumbaga maging guardrail din kayo laban sa pagtakbo sa inyo ng POGO na revoke na ang lisensya noon pa, guilty of criminal activity, tapos magbabagong anyo na lang bilang BPO. Otherwise, parang gumawa lang kayo ng dagdag problema para sa commission, no? Parang kumuha ng batot, ipukul sa ulo. So, salamat po para dyan, attorney. I have a couple more questions for the SEC. Will you continue to address them, Attorney Labayo?
If it's within my purview of my
Yes.
functions po,
Thank
Madam
you.
Chair, kaya ko po.
So, sa Yatays pa, yung pinakita ko kanina, may flyers ng currency exchange for gray market businesses. Sa Telegram, ang Nine Dynasty rin ay may currency exchange platform. Hindi po babawal yan kung walang lisensya mula sa SEC?
Ma'am, may I give a minutes lang, ma'am, para ma-review po yung corporate details po ni Nine Dynasty Group.
Yes, please do that. Idagdag nyo na po sa pag-research nyo. Kung ang purpose ng kumpanya sa registration ay travel and tour, so actually hindi nga nila inamin yung pagkaalam ng PAOK sa kanila na gaming operations. Ang registered ng Nine Dynasty Group ay travel and tour. So, di po ba illegal na mag-operate din ng currency exchange business yung Nine Dynasty na iyan, bukod pa sa gaming operations?
Ma'am, kung...
Yes, Attorney.
Madam Chair, kung mag-operate po sila ng foreign exchange po, dapat meron po silang endorsement coming from the Bangko Sentral of the Philippines po.
Okay.
Madam Chair, may I read po yung primary purpose po ni Nine Dynasty Group po.
Alright. Maiksi lang naman
Yes.
yan, di ba? Yes, please proceed.
Nine Dynasty Group is primary function or the primary purpose is to operate as travel and tour company which provide high standard of service suitable to tourists seeking entertainment, recreation, sports, enjoyment, and relaxation by determining their needs, arranging their travel and accommodation, and many other perks. Tapos ma'am, ang kanyang secondary purpose is to act as managers or managing agency of persons, firms, associations, corporation, partnership, and other entities to provide management and technical advice and assistance on office and logistical requirements for commercial, industrial, manufacturing, and other kinds of enterprises, and to undertake, carry on, assist, or participate in the promotion, organization, management, liquidation, or organizations or corporation, partnership, and other entities except the management of funds, securities, portfolios, or similar assets of the managed entities of the corporation. Yun po, Madam Chair, ang kanyang primary at saka secondary purpose po. So, hindi po listed po yung foreign exchange po.
That's right. Salamat, Attorney. Hindi listed yung gaming operations, hindi rin listed yung foreign exchange. And in fact, dito sa secondary purpose, may exception pa, except management of funds and securities. So bukod po sa, kung pag-check namin sa Bangko Sentral, hindi nila endorsed ang Nine Dynasty Group para sa currency exchange, wala rin silang lisensya para doon mula sa SEC. Tama po ba?
Opo, Madam Chair, yung wala po.
Wala. And lastly po para sa SEC ngayong umaga, ayun, well, nasagot nyo na rin po. Kasi travel and tour nga po yung primary purpose nila. So, illegal mag-operate ng currency exchange business itong Nine Dynasty Group.
Yes po, Madam Chair.
Alright, salamat, Attorney. Bago ako dumako sa AMLAC, a quick question para sa PAOK at para din sa PAGCOR. Sino pong nandito para sa PAGCOR? Yes, ma'am, Attorney Carrion. Attorney, tama po ba? Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't see the whole. So, yes, ma'am Carrion. A quick question to both. Ilang POGO licenses ang ibinigay kay Michael Yang?
Ma'am, if you could give me a few minutes
Yes.
to just make sure.
Sure po.
Yes po.
Kina Attorney Director Guidato o ASEC Tolejano. Alam po ba ng PAOK ilang POGO licenses ang ibinigay kay Michael Yang?
We will ask.
Yes, please. And could you let the committee know within this hearing? Thank you. So, umahaba yung listahan ng... hindi naman. Dalawa pa lang. Yung pangalawang tanong ko kanina sa DFA at itong tanong ngayon sa PAOK at PAGCOR. So, dako na muna sa AMLAC. I'm sorry. Yes, AMLAC. Attorney Arpon.
Magandang
yes,
umaga
sir.
po, Madam Chair.
Magandang umaga po. So, ito pong mga underground, lumalabas sa underground currency exchange, na parang bangko na, hindi po ba yan magagamit para magpondo ng mga illegal na gawain, iwasan ng AMLAC, at mag-launder ng bulto-bultong pera?
Madam Chair, that is possible po. In fact, in our investigation of those involved in POGO, we have determined that the transactions are very cash intensive, and we are still determining the source of the same. So, sa any means possible, that is correct, Madam Chair, that is possible.
Alright, salamat po. O nga po, yung very cash intensive, naalala ko, ganun nyo rin dinescribe noon bilang sagot sa mga tanong ni Senator Sherwin, yung milyon-milyon o bilyong-bilyong pisong pumapasok dun sa mga bank accounts ng pamilyang Guo o sa kanilang mga family businesses. I remember that description about very cash intensive. And given the findings naman po on the co-accused of Lin Baoyin and Zhang Ruijin, itong mga incorporators ni Guo Hua Ping sa Bamban, na mayroong illegal activity sa Pilipinas, itong mga co-incorporators o co-accused, pinalalawak din ba ng AMLAC yung web ninyo para tumingin din sa kanilang financial transactions?
Yes, Madam Chair, these two persons, Lin Baoying and Zhang Ruijin, were part of the investigations of the Anti-Money Laundering Council.
Alright. Salamat, Attorney. Follow-up lamang po before I let you go for now. Aware po ba ang AMLAC sa anumang unregistered e-wallets na nag-ooperate dito sa Pilipinas?
Your Honor, only those which are registered and supervised by the BSP are reporting institutions to the AMLC, Your Honor. So the AMLC would not be in a position to determine if there are other platforms or means being utilized which are unregistered, Your Honor.
All right, salamat. So another question now, the committee will have to post to the Bangko Sentral. Salamat po, Attorney. Bago ko balikan yung PAOK at saka PAGCOR, balikan ko muna yung Department of Foreign Affairs. So, Yusek, may sagot na po ba tayo dun sa naiwan nating tanong tungkol dun sa findings ninyo kung meron na sa incorporators, co-incorporators, co-conspirators ni na Zhang Ruijin saka Lin Baoyin. May findings na ba sa dalawang taong itong mga incorporators ni Guo Hua Ping, Yusek?
Thank you, Madam. Just again, what we have so far is our reporting from Philippine Embassy in Singapore. So ito si Mr. Zhang at si Ms. Lin were among the 10 foreign nationals busted in Singapore's record money laundering case in 2023, worth over 3 billion Singapore dollars. So we had, I believe also earlier, ma'am, we submitted the report, which contains information from our post in Singapore. So basically, to recap, their Philippine connections included the following. So Mr. Zhang had $37.2 million worth of shares in a Philippine real estate development company, but the company was not named. And Ms. Lin had reportedly owned a property in the Philippines worth $5.7 million. But the update...
Dollars or pesos, sir?
Dollars, ma'am.
Dollars, okay. Yes, sir, and the updates?
Yes. So the update to that is, well, of course, our posts, particularly Singapore and those in Asia, are closely monitoring developments. The latest development is that the two individuals also have Cambodian citizenship. So they were deported to Cambodia in July 2024.
All right.
So, but we continue to monitor, but those are the major developments as of now, Madam. Thank you.
Thank you, Yusek. This 5.7, if I heard it right, $1 million worth of property of Lin Baoyin, where in the Philippines is that? Or is that in another country, Yusek?
In the Philippines.
In the Philippines. Where in the Philippines is that?
We don't have that information, but we're asking our post to, again, try to find more detail, but as of now, we don't have the exact location.
Yes, please. And is the embassy also trying to identify the Philippine company in which Zhang Ruijin has interest worth, did I get it correctly, $37.2 million?
Yes, ma'am, of shares, yes.
Of shares?
Yes.
Is the embassy trying to identify this company?
We're trying, but we don't, when we have an update, we will inform you, ma'am.
Yes, please. Thank you. Ang SEC po ba, nalalaman kung anong kumpanya ito na may $37.2 million worth of shares si Zhang Ruijin?
Madam Chair, siguro dahil manual na po yung paghahanap ng tao, maybe allowed a ample time to
Yes,
look.
please. Okay, yeah. Sige po, kung maaari po. And the committee will also request the Land Registration Authority for information para pagtulungan na lang ng komite at ng Department USEC yung location nitong lupang pagmamayari naman ni Lin Baoyin worth $5.7 million. Just to follow up, USEC, the DFA submitted information on the co-conspirators of Zhang and Lin, namely Wang Shuiming, Wang Bingang, and Su Jianfeng. Other co-accused sila, nina Zhang at Lin. Could you share your findings on these three individuals?
Yes, ma'am. Again, these are mainly from press reports in Singapore, but reported by our post. Ms. Xu Wenjiang and Wang Baosen were reported to have worked for a remote gambling business based in the Philippines, which targeted people in China.
Which targeted?
People in China. The POGO modus operandi. Then so Wang Shuiming, who was also convicted, told investigators that his funds came from gambling winnings and real estate investments in the Philippines.
So Wang Bingang and Su Jianfeng are associated with POGOs, according to your findings, and Wang Shuiming is associated with gaming and real estate here in the Philippines.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So these are your findings on these three
Yes.
individuals co-accused with
Yes.
Zhang and Lin.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Yusek. So, siguro pwede ko nang balikan yung PAGCOR at saka PAOK kung ilan pong POGO licenses ang ibinigay kay Michael Yang.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning, ma'am.
For Michael Yang, we have never had any registration under the name of Michael Yang for director or owner of any company.
All right. Let me just look again at our records of his Chinese name or other names. Yang Hongming. Did PAGCOR give any POGO licenses to Yang Hongming?
A few minutes lang.
Yes, sure, ma'am. Thank you. Ang PAOK, alam nyo ba kung ilang POGO licenses ang ibinigay kay Michael Yang o kay Yang Hongming?
There were reports that he has several companies, ma'am. But ang problem po doon sa amin during the investigation is that most of these personalities, they have their own fronts. Mga iba po yung nakalagay sa kanilang mga Securities and Exchange Commission documents.
Mhm.
Kaya po, hindi mo talaga ma-attribute sa kanila directly.
So PAOK has no number on the number of POGO licenses given to Yang Hongming or Michael Yang.
Yes, ma'am. There were reports
Yes.
that they own these companies, but of course, when you look directly at the records, you cannot see their hands on it.
And speaking of reports, I remember maybe 3 years ago, nung investigasyon namin laban sa POGO, sa social costs ng POGO, dun sa issue ng illegal recruitment and detention, may foreign woman, victim survivor nila, na nagkwento na tuwing hihingiin niya yung passport niya, foreign passport, na kinumpiska ng mainland Chinese bosses niya sa POGO dito, naglaps na kasi yung visa niya, magagalit sila, sasabihin nila sa kanya, meron kaming malakas na backer. And they would say that this strong backer was, their words according to her, the father of POGO here in the Philippines. And yung pangalang ito, yung name drop nila. Ang SEC kaya, meron kayong any records of then legal POGOs na may pangalang Michael Yang or Yang Hongming?
We'll check po
Yes,
muna,
please.
Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. So, and Ma'am Carion, does POGCOR have any information now on Yang Hongming and POGO licenses?
Ma'am, we're still checking.
All right, thank you. I'll just return to you later. Salamat po. All right. Okay. Finally, dako na po ako, hindi naman, last 3 agencies pa, or 4, or more. Dako na po ako sa Philippine National Police. Opo. I should address first General Bakay. Is that right, sir? Salamat po. So, nung huling hearing po, sinimulan pong talakayin ni General Macapas ang PNP Intelligence Group report sa debriefing na ginawa po kay Guo Hua Ping noong nahuli siya sa Indonesia. And of course, sir, with a view to ensuring that any ongoing investigation is not compromised, ano pong maaari ninyong ibahagi mula sa PNP-IG debriefing report, sir?
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Madam Chair.
Good morning, sir.
I just referred the question to General Macapas since he's here.
Yes, sir. Salamat
Thank you very
po.
much.
Thank you, sir. General Macapas, sir. So ano na pong maibabahagi nyo mula dun sa debriefing report ng PNP-IG?
Good morning po, Madam Chair. Unang-una po, ma'am, I should say that from the time that I was relieved from the office of the intelligence, I am, by principle, ma'am, sa policy namin, I am stopped to share any information. So, I have no authority as of now to share anything about my previous work as a matter of policy. The second, ma'am, is that some of those information are concerns national security, so I cannot share it with her. Here, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, General Macapas. By any chance, nandito po yung current head ng IG? Wala po.
She is not invited, ma'am.
Kung alam ko lang na stopped kayo, dapat inimbita ko sila. Alright. Dahil sinight nyo rin yung national security concerns, I wondered, Deputy Director General, would NICA have any information about and analysis on the PNP-IG debriefing report or any of its contents? Balikan ko po kayo, General Macapas, please. Yes, sir.
I will have to check, Madam Chair. I will get back to you since we have very strong ongoing coordinations with your committee. We will update you as soon as possible.
Thank you very much, Deputy Director General. So, hayaan nyo na lang po ako, General Macapas and or General Bakay, i-field pa yung ibang mga tanong ko. Sabihin nyo na lang kung may makakalusot dun sa stopped at saka national security concerns. May mga matataas po bang former o current government officials na sinangkot si Guo Hua Ping o ni Guo Hua Ping sa sindikato ng POGO?
Negative po, ma'am.
Negative na wala siyang sinangkot or negative na hindi nyo masasagot yung tanong?
So far, ma'am, wala siyang, during the conduct of the briefing, wala po siyang sinabing government officials na sinangkot.
So hindi pala kayo stop. Pwede po kayong sumagot basta negative yung sagot.
Ano, ma'am, yun lang yung, ano, ma'am, kumbaga hindi naman siya, it does not entail national security as of today.
Alright. It does. Okay. So kung yung pag-identify ng government officials ay hindi covered ng national security concerns, anong national security concerns yung covered nung PNP-IG debriefing report?
Ma'am, as I am concerned, it will entail international relations. So I cannot talk it here.
All right. International relations with between Philippines and Indonesia. General Macapas. Ganun ba yun? Or ibang bansa pa po? General Macapas.
Yes, ma'am. It may entail another country, ma'am, aside from Indonesia.
Aside from Indonesia. So China. Hindi po. Hindi China. Posibleng China. Alright. So Indonesia and posibleng China. Okay. Tatanong ko sana kung nabanggit ba yung mga pangalan ng sino mang government officials na sinangkot sa hearings na ito, pero sabi nyo walang isinangkot si Guo Hua Ping. So at least patuloy po ba yung investigasyon, siguro kay General Bakay, patuloy po ba yung investigasyon ng PNP leadership sa mga kasabwat ni Guo Hua Ping?
Yes, sir. Yes, Madam Chair. It is concern also of the PNP hierarchy that if there are any names mentioned to be involved in any legal activities, it is automatic on the part of the PNP to investigate them, Your Honor.
So, bagamat walang sinangkot di umano si Guo Hua Ping dun sa debriefing ng mga dati o kasalukuyang government officials, kung malaman ng PNP leadership sa investigasyon na may ganong names involved ng mga dati o kasalukuyan, so of concern po ito sa PNP leadership?
Yes, Your Honor. It is part of the internal cleansing program of our Chief PNP.
All right. Internal cleansing, so pati po sa any prior or current officials within the PNP itself, General Bakay?
Yes, Your Honor. It's all encompassing and no one is excused.
All right. Maraming salamat para doon. At huli siguro para sa umagang ito, para sa PNP. So, doon po sa investigasyon ng PNP leadership, kailan po makakaasa ang publiko ng resulta at aksyon dito?
Your Honor, it's still ongoing. As a matter of fact, the Chief PNP has directed our Internal Affairs Service to establish any truth to any allegations of PNP personnel involved in any legal activities, much more of the POGO, Mr. Chair, Madam Chair.
Maraming salamat para dyan, General Bakay. Kasi naalala ko a few hearings ago, yung PNP resource person din, sinabi nga nila na may ongoing kayong internal investigation din. At particular dun sa punto ng sino-sino bang mga Pilipino o Pilipinong opisyal ay tumulong kay Guo Hua Ping na makatakas. Of interest sa komiteng ito at subject pa in focus nung Senate Subcommittee on Justice. Alright. So maraming salamat, General Bakay at General Macapas. Okay. So, kay Commissioner Viado, please, sa Bureau on Immigration. So,
good morning, Madam Chairperson.
Good morning. Yes, good morning, Com Viado. Pwede po bang ipaliwanag nyo sa akin bakit si CEZA ay inisyuhan po ng 9G visa noong 2017 kahit may kaso laban sa kanya at kahit ni-raid at dineportan pa nga ng manggagawa yung kumpanya niya?
Way back, Your Honor, in 2017, the approval of the visa given to Mr. CEZA was based on the documents submitted to us, Your Honor.
And those documents didn't reflect the case 3 years before and the raid 2 years before?
There was no reflection, Your Honor. In the
Amazing. Walang due diligence kung ganon, Commissioner.
Your Honor, yes. As a matter of fact, he was also issued an alien employment permit, Your Honor, an AEP. There is no, we have a derogatory records check, but the check of the records revealed that he possesses no derogatory record, Your Honor, on file.
That is amazing. Talagang, would you agree with me, kulang na kulang or walang due diligence?
Due diligence is required in all cases, Your Honor. You are correct.
And due diligence would have reflected in his application for a 9G visa, no less, na may kaso laban sa kanya ang China dating to 2014 for activities dating since 2011, and the due diligence would have reflected in his application for that visa na ni-raid yung kumpanya niya noong 2015. And dagdag pa pong nakakapagtaka, parang totally pong palang nabura yung 2015 deportation order sa mga empleyado ng Chonghua. So those 154, kung tama yung naalala ko, were deported, pero the record of their, 154, the record of their deportation nag-disappear or dinisappear. There was a news report about it, but now it seems like it never existed. And we know this because we just asked about this from your bureau, and thank you so much for the response, no, that there was no deportation order. And we got a letter to that effect. Pareho pang si Arvin Santos ang nakapirma. So, ano ba talaga ang nangyari at nangyayari, Commissioner? Your mic, sir.
We will get into the bottom of this, Your Honor. But based on the information that, the memorandum that was sent to me, dated November 25, 2024, which was furnished to this honorable committee, that you're right, there is no record of the deportation involving the 154 individuals, Your Honor.
Yes, it's so amazing, Commissioner. And Chief Arvin Santos signed the 9G visa and also said in this letter that there is no, in this memo, that there is no record of deportation order. A 9G visa and a deportation order, that both are documents of the Bureau. Mike, sir.
If we may request from the Honorable Chairperson and the committee that we be provided with more details of the 154 individuals so that we can get into to the bottom of this and provide the Honorable Committee with the records that it seeks. And we will get in touch with your office, Your Honor, so that we can get the names of these individuals.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Welcome, ma'am.
Actually, sir, all 154 names are in the news. So the Bureau could simply recollect those names. And after all, they were deported by the Bureau then, 9 years ago. And so there's no need for my office or this committee to submit the names. Please just help us solve this amazing mystery that 154 people were deported. There's a memorandum. There's a memorandum. There's a memorandum that there's no record of that deportation of not a few people, 154 people. And after that, after the raid, after the case of 2014, because of activities in the Philippines since 2011, after the deportation, excuse me, after the deportation, the raid and deportation in 2015, then there's a memo from the same bureau that deported those 154, that no such deportation happened. So very, very mysterious. Oh, and the news in 2015 was on the deportation. Sorry. So I just like to correct my statement earlier. The 154 names were not in the news. And we could not furnish them to you also, Commissioner. But the Bureau should have that institutional memory kasi Bureau po yung nag-deport ng 154 persons, bunga ng raid, na bunga din ng kaso laban kay Xi Jinping noong 2014, kaso sa China for illegal activities in the Philippines since 2011. Pero pagkatapos na dineport ng Bureau ang 154 katao noong 2015 na nasa balita, may memo na walang deportation na nangyari. At pagkatapos ng lahat ng iyan, na-issuehan pa ng 9G visa yung tao na involved dyan sa Chonghua na yan. So, I will really be waiting for clarification from the Bureau about this mistake.
That's the same, Your Honor. We will be going back to our records from 2014 to 2015. And since we have the name of the company involved in this particular matter, then we will get into the bottom of this and provide you with the complete records of the same, Your Honor.
Maraming salamat para doon, Commissioner.
You're welcome.
Then to another topic, still with the BI, halos 3 buwan na po mula nung maaresto si Guo Hua Ping sa Indonesia. Pagkatapos niyang tumakas sa Pilipinas habang may hold departure order. Ano na pong maibabahagi ninyo sa investigasyon ng Bureau kung paano niya ito nagawa? Ngayong laman ng lahat ng balita noon yung mukha niya.
Yes, Your Honor. After what was stated before this honorable committee regarding the back-channeling efforts that we made and the confirmation that we got that she entered Kuala Lumpur International Airport on July 18, 2024, and that there is no record of her having entered Sabah on July 19, 2024.
Yes.
We went into further back-channeling efforts from the same source and sent an email asking the following, where the flight to KLIA on July 18, 2024 at 12:17 originate from, and did it originate from the Philippines, and was it a commercial, chartered, or special flight? Unfortunately, Your Honor, the emails were unanswered. These were sent sometime October 15 or 16, Your Honor. After that, we realized that back-channeling efforts would not work anymore and that we have to go through official channels, Your Honor. By that, we sent official communications to the immigration officials of Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Australia, where probable flights originated from. These emails were sent, emails or traditional mails, Your Honor, in the event that we don't have the email addresses, were sent to the same on different dates. And the summary of the correspondence that we sent were attached to the letter that we sent to this honorable committee yesterday, Your Honor. We also coordinated with NICA, Your Honor, so that realizing that efforts pertaining to the escape of Alice Guo should be concerted with other agencies, Your Honor. Unfortunately, at this point, we cannot say with finality how she was able to depart from the Philippines, but we commit, the Bureau of Immigration commits to continue on with the investigation and to continue coordinating with other concerned government agencies in the Philippines and the other immigration officials from the other countries, Your Honor. We have to get into the bottom of this, and I made a personal commitment to Your Honor to know what really happened. And we stand by that commitment. The Bureau stands by that commitment, and we would be providing this honorable committee with updates from time to time, Your Honor. And in the event that we get information, fresh information, rest assured, Your Honor, that we will be providing this committee and the honorable chairperson the soonest possible time, Your Honor.
Salamat, Commissioner. So yung emails nyo, dun pa muna sa back-channeling, unanswered mula October 15. More than a month ago.
Sometime October 15 or 16.
Or 16, okay po. So, almost a month and a half ago.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung pong emails and traditional mail nyo on different dates sa official channels, kailan po ipinadala iyon?
On different dates, Your Honor.
Yes, beginning last month or this
Yes.
month?
As a matter of fact, Your Honor, there were correspondence already as early as August 19, 2024 regarding requests for a turnover of custody, etc. The latest being an email to the Malaysian authorities, immigration authorities, dated November 22, 2024. A series of emails were sent to the authorities in Indonesia, Malaysia, Hong Kong, and Malaysia on various occasions from November 5, and before that, sometime August. So August 19 to November 22, 2024, Your Honor.
August 19 to November 2022. And I'm sure this is not the first time the Bureau has had occasion to coordinate with your counterparts in other countries.
Yes, Your Honor.
So if ever before, nagkaroon na rin ba ng delays dati sa pagsagot nila? And if ever, ano po yung mga naging dahilan noon na pwedeng maging dahilan ngayon bakit natatagalan sila sa pagsagot?
There are many factors, Your Honor,
Many.
but usually they would promptly reply, Your Honor.
Alright. So medyo medyo unusual na matagal silang sumasagot dito sa official queries ng Bureau ngayon.
They might have their own reasons, Your Honor,
Yes.
which I am not privy to, Your Honor.
Yes. Salamat. So I'll also just await an update, Commissioner, of the deportation order, because it looks to me that someone powerful made these derogatory facts about Shi Zhejiang disappear. And just as a note, this is usually done for intelligence agents. So I will await the update, Commissioner. Salamat po. Salamat.
Thank you, too, Your Honor.
Sorry, huling tanong na lang sa BI, moving forward.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ano po ang plano ng BI para hindi na ito maulit? Itong buong Guo Hua Ping episode, connection sa POGO, may mga reforma na ba kayong ginagawa?
Your Honor, yes. We are constantly in touch with our border control officers to be always on the lookout for subjects or fugitives that might escape the country, Your Honor. But as stated beforehand and reiterated, we really need to modernize, Your Honor, the facilities available to us. And we need more manpower, Your Honor.
So itong dalawa yung pangunahing reforma?
Yes, Your Honor.
Modernization sa manpower or human resources?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What about yung pagpigil na may maulit na namang misteryosong pagpapadisappear sa mga derogatory records sa isang taong umamin na intelligence agent siya ng ibang bansa?
Yes. We are doing a check on our records, Your Honor, and cleansing, and we are limiting accessibility to certain records, Your Honor, for the benefit of everyone.
Right. Salamat, Commissioner. Salamat, Commissioner Viado. Quick question sa NICA. Nabanggit kasi nagko-coordinate ang BI sa NICA. I'm sorry, I caught you in the middle of a spoonful. Ibig pong sabihin, nagko-coordinate din ba ang NICA sa mga counterpart intelligence agencies para mabuo yung kwento ng pagtakas ni Guo Hua Ping?
We confirm both the ongoing and current coordinations with the Bureau of Immigration, Madam Chair. And as a matter of practice, foreign intelligence agencies either have their resident officers here, or those that do not have, send, or we send doon po sa, for example po, may mga countries po na wala po sila dito, and it's covered by their officer posted in another country. We have active and ongoing discussions and cooperation po with them, Madam Chair.
On this matter also of Guo Hua Ping's escape?
On this matter and on other matters as well, Madam Chair.
Alright, salamat po, Deputy Director General. And of course, it is worrying that we still do not know how Guo Hua Ping left the country. Ang nalaman natin sa DFA, it's not just Zhang Ruijin and Lin Baoyin who made the Philippines their criminal playground, pati yung ibang Singaporean. Kaya pala ganito kasi ang borders natin ay so porous. So talagang malaking inaasahan pa sa BI bukod sa iba nating nagbabantay dapat sa borders sa mga usaping ganito. Okay. Sa DOLE naman po, yes, Director.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good
Patrick
morning.
po, from Bureau of Local Employment.
Yes, Director Patrick. Patriwi Rawan.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Very Asian, very Indonesian even.
Yes, ma'am. Tama
Indonesian
po.
po ba kayo by father?
Yes po.
Ah, okay. Nice, Patriwi Rawan. All right. So, Director, parte po ang DOLE ng Task Force POGO Closure. At inatasan po kayong tulungan ng mga manggagawang apektado ng POGO ban. So, ano po ang plano ninyo dito?
Thank you, Madam Chair. After the pronouncement and directive of the President po, the DOLE po, under the leadership of Secretary Leguesmas, already started profiling our affected Filipino workers. We have a number of programs we have enrolled for this task force. That includes, first of all, after the profiling po, we did a number of job fairs. From the job, we have 4 job fairs conducted already, and we have 200 hired on the spot Filipino workers who were employed in IT BPM and hotel and restaurant service industries. We also processed the unemployment insurance benefit assistance in coordination with SSS for a total of 435 applications. We also have enlisted for employment facilitation through our public employment service offices a number of 708 individuals. 11 were provided with livelihood assistance. 2 were referred to skills or technical training. And lastly po, for the cancellation of AEPs, we have a total of 36,009 AEPs canceled po, Madam Chair. We will also submit a report po to the committee and to your office, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Director. O nga po, kahit nung budget plenary ng DOLE, natalakay po yung job fairs. Thank you for the additional details. At mabuti binanggit nyo yung unemployment benefits in coordination with SSS. 435. So mas marami po dun sa 200 na employ dun sa job fairs. And we know na aside from these hundreds na sinisimulan ng tulungan ng DOLE, there are thousands, maybe tens of thousands. No? 30, up to 30,000 na mga kababayan natin na mangangailangan ng ganitong klaseng assistance ng gobyerno. And mabuti na tulad ng napag-usapan din sa budget plenary, may coordination or may hopefully ma-maximize po ng DOLE yung coordination sa mga peso. No? So we have hundreds already here. And again, let's bump that magnitude up to the tens of thousands. And then tens of thousands na mga AEPs ang na-cancel?
Yes, Madam
O,
Chair.
ilan lahat dapat eventually makakancel sa pag-uwi ng mga dayuhang POGO workers, pati mga human trafficking victim survivors sa kanila?
Just to give a background, Madam Chair, for this year po, 2024, we have issued 53,000 AEPs. Out of the 53,753, we have issued 18,616 for AEPs issued to POGOs or IGLs.
I see.
And we have, as of July reporting, middle of this year, we have 15,886 AEPs canceled and revoked, po, Madam Chair.
Pero yung total canceled so far, 36,000 plus.
Yes po, nasa 36 na po tayo.
Okay. Out of a total universe of how many? Kasi 18,000 AEPs to POGOs just this year. Pero ilan lahat ang valid pa na AEPs na you're in the process of canceling?
Yung record po na meron po tayo since 2019 po na AEPs issued totals to 356,731, Madam Chair.
Pero hindi lahat sa POGOs ito?
Lahat po ito sa POGOs.
Lahat.
Since
Okay.
2019 po, Madam Chair.
Since 2019. Are they all still in the country?
We'll have to check, Madam Chair,
We'll have
po,
to check.
kung active pa po yung AEPs.
Okay. Kasi kung active pa yung 356,000 plus AEPs, yung na-cancelan nyo so far na 36,000 plus would be mga 10% of those.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay po.
We will submit the report po on the
Yes,
details po of this canceled AEPs.
All right, salamat po. At huli po para sa DOLE ngayong tanghali, isang opisina po ng DOLE pwedeng dumulog yung mga iba pang apektado na hindi pa naabot ng job fairs at iba pang tulong ng DOLE.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yung palagi po namin binabanggit din po sa mga interviews po natin with the Secretary, sa ating po mga regional offices, maaari pong lumapit ang ating mga affected Filipino workers at pati na rin po sa mga public employment service offices po sa kanilang mga municipalities, cities, and provinces.
Okay, salamat. So regional offices, yung mga peso sa mga munisipyo. And I recall from the budget plenary, pati po online. So meron po kayong platform para dito?
Yes po, Madam Chair. Thank you, ma'am. Meron po tayong philjobnet.gov.ph kung saan po makikita po ng ating mga job seekers yung current vacancies. Lalong-lalo na po yung mga vacancies po na na-post noong mga POGO-related job fairs po na kinonduct po natin.
Okay. So may ganung follow-up sa job fairs. Alright, maraming salamat, Director Patriwirawan. Okay. Terima kasih. Marunong kayo magsalita ng bahasa?
Hindi po, Madam
Oh,
Chair.
sayang. Okay. Salamat po sa DOLE. Alright. Okay. So, ito na lang. Okay. Sige po. Okay. Bago yung huling tanong ko para sa mga agencies. So, huling balik sa PAGCOR, what was... I had a pending question.
Yang
Ma'am
Hongming?
Karim. Yes, Yang
Yes, ma'am.
Hongming. Anything on Yang Hongming?
We don't have any record, ma'am.
All right. So, we'll keep looking for him in other ways. Okay. So, huling tanong ko na lang po na pang moving forward, lalo na para sa PSA, sa SEC, sa AMLAC, sa DILG, saka sa BI. Kasi napakarami pong butas sa inyong mga sistema na lumitaw sa mga hearing na ito. Dalawang tanong para sa bawat isa na gustong sumagot dun sa mga nabanggit kong agencies or kahit sa ibang resource persons na nandito. Una po, anong mga reforma ang ipinatutupad ninyo o plano na ipinatutupad sa inyong ahensya? At pangalawa at huli, anong pagkukulang sa batas? So ito pang homework namin dito sa Senado. Pagkukulang sa batas na kinakailangan tugunan para hindi na ito maulit. Wala yata yung PSA. SEC, would you like to address this question first, moving forward? So reforms, tapos pagkukulang sa batas.
Madam Chair, meron naman na pong nagawa si SEC by launching the third digital wave pro, which is the ESAP, kung saan po, at e-secure, kung saan po si ESAP po is doon na po pwedeng mag-sign po yung mga incorporators doon sa registration document. Doon naman po sa e-secure po is know your client po. Kumbaga, magpe-present po sila ng ID tsaka yung kanilang profile po. Ilalagay po na lang po nila doon. Siguro po, Madam Chair, dahil po umaasa yung system doon sa valid IDs na isasubmit nila, siguro po dapat palakasin na lang po yung ID system po natin, Madam Chair.
Salamat po. Paabot din namin ito sa SEC, no, on behalf of the whole committee naman. Nandito yata si Assistant National Statistician Marisa Grande para sa PSA. I'm so sorry, ma'am. Di ko po nakita agad. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Engineer, no? Yes, Engineer
yes,
Grande.
Madam Chair.
Opo.
So, first, I'd like to update this committee, ma'am, on what we're doing to address this concern on the fraudulent registration. So, it appears marami nga pong sources. And we really need to cleanse the PSA database also from the source, no? And including the PSA CRS database. So we've been conducting investigations to this reported fraudulent birth certificates of foreign nationals based on the reports that we received from the DFA. We have the regular back channeling, the NPI, and the Bureau of Immigration. And as of October, we have already blocked 720 birth certificates, civil registry documents, of which we have 1,627 pertaining to birth certificate of foreign nationals. And 1,464 of these have been records have been endorsed to OSG for the filing of the petition for cancellation. So, yung isa na case nga po dito na na-file na namin with OSG, ito yung cancellation ng birth certificate ng former Mayor Alice Guo. So, that's one of the immediate actions that we did. And currently, we're having a data sharing with DFA, NBI, and BI for those records that we have been blocking. No? After the conduct of the fact-finding investigation, we report to them, these are the names of these fraudulent records of these foreign nationals. So we continue to strengthen internal and external processes. And in fact, we've been doing not only fact-finding investigations with the local civil registers, but we are doing also audit in our CRS outlets to strengthen, of course, our procedures also. And most importantly, we have amended delayed registration processes of birth. Stricter protocols and additional mandatory requirements were needed to ensure that the true fact and identity of the person established prior to its registration. But of course, there are marginalized sectors that will be affected, so we have retained this birth registration assistance program for the indigenous people, Muslim, and those marginalized sectors. So, as our way forward, we also do some data analytics based on the information that we got from the registered births from 2010 to 2024. There are 14.89 million that have been registered under these delayed registration schemes. And based on some parameters that we got based on these fact-finding investigations that we've done, there is an estimated 50,000 suspected fraudulent cases which are relayed to our field offices to conduct audits to our local civil registry offices. And this is ongoing, Madam, right now. So we will be updating the committee once we have these reports coming from our PSA field offices. But I'm glad you mentioned, ma'am, what is required to improve our processes. So we're currently pushing for the amendment of Act 753. This is the law to establish a civil register. There's really need to amend it. It's a 1930 law. There have been a lot of changes and several laws pertaining to civil registration, and we have this proposal for a comprehensive CRBS omnibus bill. We would like to discuss with the committee for some proposal to include one, digitalization. We need one source of truth data linking a system coming from hospitals, because these are the one registering, preparing the birth, the death, hospital, the local civil registry offices, and the PSA. So there's a digitalization project, and we hope that the government would support the funding for that. And of course, ma'am, we will continue to be coordinating with the other government agencies. This is actually we need the support of each of the government agencies. And also NICA, we've been coordinating also with them regarding this matter. So yun po yun, ma'am, ang updates from the PSA. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much also, Engineer Marisa. Sabi nyo you have identified 1,000 plus irregular or spurious birth certificates and recommended some of them to the OSG. Earlier, meron din kayong you've blocked 700 plus birth certificates, but 1,000 plus in total, and recommended some of them to the Office of the Solgen for cancellation. Pero sabi nyo rin po, meron kayong mga 50,000 plus suspected fraudulent. So ano pong time frame para ma-vet talaga the 49,000 plus or so na balanse?
Right now, ma'am, we have the NS, the head of the agency has already ordered our PSA field offices, and the audits is ongoing because there's a lot of documents. They have to start from 2010, as I've mentioned, and we will be providing updates on this, ma'am, because some of them we have received some updates, including those that were coordinated to us through the Senate and the Congress, the list that were provided to us. These are ongoing investigation and with the aim to cleanse also the PSA's database.
Salamat po. Baka may sense of urgency din ito during this transition sa pag-wind down ng POGOs hanggang deadline December 31. At the same time, yung just transition para sa mga nagtrabaho doon. Lalo na kung given yung statements ng iba nating resource persons na widespread nga yung POGOs, mukhang widespread din yung mga espionage-related activities na kasi hinahabi together yung economic activities ng POGO but also possibly criminal activities and possibly nga espionage. How long did it take you po to process the 1,000 plus birth certificates na na-deem spurious, kalaunan?
Well, I actually, ma'am, to be frank, this study was initiated by our head, NS MAPA. So based on the 2010 to 2024, since all of these are in our database, and then it took us a while to come up with this data analytics, and this will be used for audits by our PSA field offices with the local CB registrars.
So, na-process yung 1,000 plus na yon in the past several months, tama po ba?
The parameters used, for example, ma'am, during the investigation, we've come up with some obvious factors that undergone delayed registration. For example, a hilot, yeah. So using that parameter and the delayed registration and the use of one of the parent is a foreigner. So these are the parameters used, and we use the 2010 to 2024 birth statistics data to come up with these statistics. The suspected 50,000 fraudulent birth delayed registrations.
Pero if I'm going to estimate na na-process niyo yung 1,000 plus na ito in the past several months, hindi naman naabot ng 24 and a half years para maproseso yung balanse pa ng 50,000? Is there a time frame, like kakayanin nyo ba within, I doubt matatapos nyo by December 31, pero kakayanin ba within a year or is it several years? May time frame po ba kayong nakikita?
So if your query pertains to determining the database on our database, we use that information, ma'am. And then based on this list, we go back to the local and check the records and the supporting documents that they have submitted during the delayed registration process.
So, yun na nga po, yung sinabi niyong 50,000 plus suspected fraudulent na birth certificates, kakayanin niyo ba in a year ma-vet kung talagang spurious sila or hindi naman sila spurious?
Well, we hope to complete before the end of this year, ma'am, because we have also field officers that are on top of these instructions from our head.
That is very good to hear po kung susubukan nyo talaga iyon. Alright. And salamat din sa pagbibigay pansin ninyo na dapat hindi mapilay naman yung assistance nyo sa marginalized sectors na mga totoong Pilipino at nangangailangan ng assistance ng PSA para makapagrehistro. At tinatawag nga nila nitong isang NGO na ideals na yung birth certificate natin, ito yung passport sa buhay. So ganun siyang kahalaga. Lalo na sa mga hirap makakuha niyan. And then thank you for the, yung sinabi nyo, amendment to Act 353. Did I get the number right?
3753, ma'am.
Oh my God, sorry. 3753, okay. So dating pa pala to the 1930s, no?
Yes.
Parang yung ating revised penal code and yung mga iba pa. So we need to update all of these. Salamat po, Engineer Marisa. Sec, wala naman kayong batas na gusto nyong amyendahan ng Kongreso o bagong batas na mag-file ng bill? And just before going on to the other agencies. Sorry po, I'm always catching people in the middle of your lunch. Sige po.
Madam Chair, sa ngayon po, wala pa po.
Wala naman. Okay. Salamat po muli, Attorney Labayo. Sa AMLAC, meron po bang nais ibilin kayo sa amin sa Senado? Well, balita muna, mga reforma na ginagawa na or balak gawin, and then mga pagkukulang sa batas na tingin nyo dapat tugunan namin.
At present, Madam Chair, we have improved our risk-based supervision of covered persons. As regards introduction of a law, perhaps if I may humbly suggest the regulation of virtual currencies or cryptocurrencies. There is a high probability that these virtual assets were used in laundering because we had difficulty in our investigation in tracing the proceeds. So we highly suspect that cryptocurrencies were utilized and abused, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Attorney. Very well taken. And last but not the least, sa BI po, bukod sa sagot nyo na, Commissioner, ano pang mga reforma na ginagawa or gagawin at anong mga pagkukulang sa batas na dapat naming punuin?
Thank you very much, Your Honor,
yes,
for
sir.
the opportunity. Your Honor. As stated previously, Your Honor, we are modernizing our border check controls, but we need to further modernize through automation. And secondly, we need more manpower because we are contending with a 1940 law, a Commonwealth Act, addressing modern-day problems, Your Honor. Ours is composed of 7,600 islands, 300,000 plus square kilometers of land area, 266,000 plus square kilometers of municipal and coastal waters, 2 million plus square kilometers of the exclusive economic zone, 12 international airports and 1 seaport being guarded by 1,800 plus immigration officers. So we're contending with a porous border manned by so few people, Your Honor. So I think that summarizes the need of the Bureau of Immigration for a new law. We are contending with modern-day problems using an 84-year-old law. And it would be to the benefit not only of the Bureau, but of the country in general if we pass that law, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much also, Commissioner. And I'm sorry, I'm mistaken. May DILG pala rito. Pwede po bang, if you would like to address the question, Mr. Ross Rafael Bascunia?
Good noon, Ms.
Yes, sir.
Madam
Good
Chair.
noon.
Yes po.
Director
Yes po.
Bascunia. Yes, sir.
As to the reform po, the DLG has already come up with a memorandum circular directing all local government units to conduct inventory and monitoring of establishments that may be involved in POGO operations. And as a matter of fact, Madam Chair, the raid that was conducted in the municipality of Mualbual, Cebu last month was triggered by the request of the municipal mayor to the Bureau of Fire Protection for them to reconduct a fire and safety inspection upon all resorts found in the municipality, Your Honor. And moving forward, Your Honor, we will continue monitoring compliance by the LGUs on this memorandum circular. And also, as to the needed legislation, Your Honor, we humbly request that the department be given disciplinary authority, if possible, over local government officials. because currently all we have is the power of general supervision, which is limited to the conduct of fact-finding and investigation, Your Honor.
Thank you, Director Bascuña. At sa pag-ulit din tungkol dun sa pagbibigay sa Department ng Disciplinary Authority. I appreciate that kasi nabanggit na rin po yan ng isang resource person ng department in a previous hearing. Opo, para hindi lang kayo nag-i-inspect, hindi lang kayo nagpa-fact-finding, pero pag may natukoy kayong official ninyo na who's giving succor to POGOs or running POGOs themselves, ay pwede nyo silang disiplinahin. So, maraming salamat po para doon. So, friends, we have come to the end of a very long road. For 5 long years, well, counting our pastillas investigation, the Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality tried to leave no stone unturned to unravel the many evils brought to our shores by Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGOs. POGOs welcomed with open arms by the administration of former President Duterte. They have now been revealed to be nothing but a Trojan horse. They have exposed a web of people. We'll show this web. A web of people who used POGOs for their own selfish interests, their own personal gain, all at the expense of the Filipino people. Walang dinala dito ang mga POGO kundi bangungot. Despite the many heinous crimes unearthed by this committee, including large-scale scamming, corruption, kidnapping, torture, prostitution, and human trafficking, our objective has never been to prove any single individual guilty. Guo Hua Ping, this committee has unmasked you as a Chinese national, mocking our Filipino identity to amass wealth and commit crimes against true Filipinos. But I leave your fate, Ms. Guo, up to the courts. And I look forward to the day you face justice. Masaya nga akong wala ka rito dahil kwes na ang kaharap mo. We abide by the rule of law in this country. And these hearings were never a trial for your crimes. The same goes for your co-conspirators and bad actors. What was on trial here, however, was our very system of laws and policies which allowed these travesties to go unchecked and to fester. Ang nalilitis natin dito ay ang katibayan at kasapatan ng ating mga batas para hadlangan ang abuso ng POGO. At ang hatol nung tinimbang, nakakalungkot at kulang na kulang. Inabuso ang ating birth certificate registration, immigration procedures, passport at visa applications, pagtayo ng negosyo sa pangalan ng kumpanya, bank secrecy, at pati ang pribilehiyong lumahok sa eleksyon at maging kawani ng gobyerno. Ngayon, lumalabas na pati ang demokrasya at pambansang seguridad natin ay nailagay na sa panganib. Nagpapasalamat ako sa NICA sa inyong malinaw na testimonya at sa assurance na tututukan ang national security concerns na na-raise dito. Ayon sa PAOK, si CEZA ay na nagsabing kapwa niya Chinese asset si Guo Hua Ping ay may mga POGO rin. Truly, foreign agents use all means at their disposal, and those who think that POGOs are exempt are foolish. Natukoy ng POGO syndicates ang kahinaan ng ating mga batas. At sinamantala nila ito para magpakasasa, habang ang kapwa nila ay napipinsala. Pero bilang mga Pilipino, hindi natin papayagang magpatuloy ito. No, this is not a witch hunt. Hindi po ito tokhang. Yung nakasanayang nyong gawi, huwag nyong ibintang dito. The President has reiterated the unqualified ban on all POGOs, maging sa ilalim man ng PAGCOR, ng eco zones o iba pa. Malinaw ang kanyang salita at ang kailangang linawin ang mga puwang ng EO74 sa lalong madaling panahon. Ang mga POGO within licensed casinos At ang mga POGO sa eco zones, even service providers to foreign POGOs must be banned. At kung hindi ito malinaw para sa ilan, at ito ang kanilang gagamiting lusot, I will file an amendment to the anti-POGO bill at the proper time. Binuo na nga ang Task Force POGO Closure, kasama ang DOJ, DOLE, PAGCOR, PAOK, at BI. Tututukan natin ang kanilang trabaho. The Senate President has also committed to prioritizing the enactment of the anti-POGO bill to ensure that POGOs, whatever they may be called or disguised as in the future, will forever be banned in our country. Paparusahan at papananagutin natin ang sino mang di sumunod, lalo na kung opisyal ng gobyerno. Ipapasa natin ang mga angkop na batas para paigtingin ang mga sistema kontra abuso sa civil registration, immigration, money laundering, kandidatura sa eleksyon at national security. The committee holds the DFA to its commitment to reach out to CEZA for information in his possession on Guo Hua Ping, the Yang brothers, and other possible foreign agents. We will also seek to obtain these documents preparatory to the committee report. Even post-adjournment, the committee retains its jurisdiction insofar as seeking access to CEZA is concerned. Friends, this may be the end of our hearings on POGO, but this is only the beginning of the legislative reforms that we will strive to push to ensure that every Filipino, that there will never be another Alice Guo. Guo Hua Ping, sisiguraduhin ko na hindi ka na makakaulit dito. At matututo ang lahat sa gagawin sa'yo. Additionally, the arrest order of Alice Guo or Guo Hua Ping is quashed. Kina Alex Chong, Dale Ignacio, alias Ivy, alias Karina, alias Rita, this is for you. Sa mga biktima ng mga POGO sa loob at labas ng bansa, this is for you. Sa mga kababayan nating Pilipino na hirap makakuha ng ID, birth certificate at iba, pero araw-araw namumuhay ng may dangal at lumalaban ng patas, this is for you. Para sa bayan, kailanman. With many thanks to all our resource persons, this hearing is adjourned.